Hey guys, Demetrios here, introducing what we've called our Buckshot Election Week episode. It's a bit different this time around. It starts off with a conversation that Bobby and I had after the podcast finished, and while the audio session files were doing their thing. Next you have the stats man, Bobby and myself shooting the shit regular, and in the final segment we introduce the That's Not Right political correspondent King Arthur, who came in to drop some knowledge on Turnbull's sketchy endeavours, some conspiracy theory talk, and his existential blueprint for a sustainable society. Do keep in mind that neither King Arthur's personal political views or the facts he's presenting represent our own agenda or opinions. That's Not Right is open to host anyone with anything to say without distorting the representation of truth or to push our own beliefs. So in short, take what you want from it, but don't jump down our throats over it. Have fun.
The following presentation does not represent Australian opinion or intellect. We do not speak for any religious order or ethnic minority. We are not political scientists or uni graduates. We're insignificant upper-lower class scum, comparing notes and airing grievances. It's just our opinion. Deal with it.
No way that GST will ever be part of our policy.
Never, ever.
Never, ever. It's dead.
If they don't like it, go back to where they're from.
It is a big idea.
You know, we don't need them.
A new world order. By 1990, no Australian child will be living in poverty.
Right.
You should shell out. That's what they say. Yeah,
Please explain.
there you go.
Oh no, like remember you asked me I'm always into like watching the conspiracy shit and that, and you asked me if the missus like does she get into it or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And like she's starting to like notice shit in the shows that she watches and stuff.
What?
Like just little things, because I've like for years I've just been drumming it into her, like, you know.
I thought you just slowly like
Slowly
beating
inducting
her
it,
down,
yeah.
just beating her spirit to be vigilant.
And then she was watching. There's this big show at the moment. It's called Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, isn't that the one about the lesbian prison?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ruby Razor's on that.
Is she? Yeah.
I wasn't aware she was an actor.
She's not. And she actually paused it midway through and like got me to watch it with her, because there's this new character they've implemented on the show. And she's like the crazy one, like the crazy prisoner. She has like glasses and she's like real like nutty. Like,
is it like a Hannibal Lecter sort of prisoner, or?
No, not like that. Just like nutty, like a bit of a nut job. Like says crazy shit and like
conspiracy based shit, or?
Yeah, well that's the thing. Like she.
Oh, so she's the paranoid one.
She's the paranoid crazy one.
That makes sense. Sorry. Yeah.
I don't know like all the ins and outs of it, but yeah, she's a paranoid crazy one. She has interviews with the medical staff for her craziness and shit. But like she'll always just come out and say random shit like about like the fluoride in the water or just whatever, like shit the government's doing, like
all the staple conspiracy shit.
What was she saying the other day? There's people in bunkers underneath Las Vegas controlling the drones that are killing innocent people and shit. Like
drones. What do you mean?
Like, you know how they fly the drones into war zones and kill like bomb fucking.
Oh, you mean drones in war?
Drones, yeah.
Drones in. Yeah.
Yeah, drones.
Oh, she's saying there's people underground.
Yeah, like she'll just go on this crazy rant all of a sudden out of the blue, like, mark my words, there's people sitting in bunkers underneath Las Vegas controlling these drones into Pakistan, like killing innocent people, and everyone just writes her off as like, shut up nutjob, like you're a loser.
Yeah. And
I said to Keisha, I'm like, you see how they do it? Like, they tell you the truth and then they mark it up as she's just crazy, so it's they'll show you the truth, but you won't take it as being real because she's just a nut job.
Okay, but then what do you do with that information? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, does it make sense?
Yeah, but it's just, you know, they're just putting it out there because they can, like.
Just what, to flaunt it?
Yeah,
like they're basically waving their dicks in our faces.
Yeah, like they do, like.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's what it is? Like they're just like with that.
Just like in the film clips, man. Stars doing this and shit.
Yeah, I was going to say like that whole Madonna song about the Illuminati. Have you heard it? I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've read the lyrics and shit.
What are the lyrics?
I'd have to go through it again.
I was going to say I'd have to Google it right now because I don't.
It's basically like a fucking prayer almost or some shit. I don't know. But.
Are you serious? A prayer?
Do you want me to bring it up?
Go, man. Like I haven't heard it. That's why. I know it exists, but I just haven't heard it. I can't believe I started watching The Arrivals again, though.
The Arrivals. Oh,
Yeah. But it was just funny, man.
YouTube special.
Man, I scared the fuck out of myself when I first watched it.
The funniest thing is, you were probably watching that when I was watching that before we even knew each other, like both tripping out on it, maybe.
Yeah, that was 2009, 2010 before I started working with you.
Yeah. Because I was watching it like around then as
I'm
well.
telling you, because I was in Athens, I'd be in like my auntie's guest bedroom, you know? I'd have my Vaio laptop, like massive 22-inch screen. Everything's dark. I've got to set it like studio headphones, and just that music, that you know, and then just start dissecting like the Britney Spears. That thing always fucked with me. The Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Madonna. You know, it was at the MTV Awards or whatever.
Yeah, they got the checkered floor.
Yeah, checkered floor, ascension, ranks. You know, enter, exit, whatever.
Yeah,
the make out.
Do you want to hear the lyrics to this song?
Yeah.
Alright.
And mind you know what, man? This is actually better because I don't have music influencing the actual message in the song. I'm just reading cold lyrics too, which is pretty cool.
Cold lyrics, Madonna. The song's called Illuminati. This is it. It's not Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's not Nicki or Lil Wayne. It's not Oprah and Obama, the Pope or Rihanna, Queen Elizabeth or Kanye. It's not pentagrams or witchcraft. It's not triangles or stacks of cash, black magic or Gaga, Gucci or Prada, riding on a golden calf. To the chorus. The all-seeing eye is watching tonight. That's what it is. Truth and light. The all-seeing eye is watching tonight. Nothing to hide. Secrets inside. It's like everybody in this party shining like Illuminati. It's like everybody in this party shining like Illuminati.
Nah, man.
That's it. That's a song.
How is that a song? That's the whole premise of the Illuminati. That's what it is.
And I think when she sung this song at like one of those award shows or whatever, it was like her in some like bondage gear or whatever, surrounded by dudes with like the half body, and they've got like the animal head.
Oh yeah,
whether it be a goat
like
head
that,
or
like that. What was it?
Like the opening to the longest tunnel in Sweden, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Dudes just dancing around her with the goat head, like fucking, and she's just in the middle, fucking swaying and shit, singing this.
Man, that goat head thing, like that opening of the tunnel, that made no sense whatsoever.
I know.
It was just pagan imagery for no reason. No reason. It's one thing if they want to put a show on that says, you know, paganism, like 500 years ago, like, you know, here it is, like, cool. But not when it's the opening of, like, a tunnel. Like, what was the point? That was spooky. That was...
Very spooky.
And the fact that you had the two women in underwear making out, like, groping each other and stuff as well, that makes no sense. Like, man, like I said it on the day, okay, when they opened the Balti Bridge, they had the ribbon, they cut the ribbon, and then there was a competition, I think, to be like the first, you know, how they picked the first cars over.
Because I think, like, in that part of Europe, like Switzerland, like, it's very, like a lot of the elites hang out there, like they have the Bilderberg meetings and shit.
Oh, yeah.
In Switzerland, CERN's in Switzerland. You had that opening of the tunnel with the fucking satanic ritual in Switzerland.
It is, either way, any way you look at it, like, it's there, man. It's not a movie about it, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that, like, blew my mind. That was just like, nah. That was fucked.
And that was just the start of it. Like, it goes, you know, there's this crazy goat dude running around a field with, like, I don't know.
What do you reckon about that Michael Jackson shit? Yeah, before you said the porn stash.
Yeah, the porn, allegedly.
What was it? Do you actually know the facts around it? Because I was saying, I was trying to find out. It was all really vague of where they actually came out, but it was just hidden documents, basically, going back to, you know, his first arrests.
That's pretty much all I know about it as well, but
yeah.
What else was it?
Like the content. Did you see the content? It was all children, like not children, but young men, young adolescent boys in like sexual poses and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
A lot of male like porn.
There was that and something else, but I can't remember.
What else? What, found?
Yeah.
Like drugs or something?
Oh, fuck.
I don't know.
More dodgy shit anyway.
But I was reading it. I'm like, look, whatever porn he wants to have in his house, like, it's no one's business. If they're minors, then yeah, that's an issue. Considering the fact that he was up for, like, child molestation allegations, like, considering that's the issue, and then he's got adolescent porn, it's like, it wouldn't have helped his defence team, like, at all. And then his daughter's come out. Did you see the quote from his daughter?
Paris?
Yeah.
No, what did she say?
She said something like, people just trying to slander my dad, let it go, like, stop fucking coming out of the woodwork and just trying to ruin his legacy. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that not the allegations, that doesn't mean what these newfound things are either true or not. Like, it's one thing, like, stop slandering my dad, but it's another thing, it's like, well, if all this shit is legit, that changes the perspective of everything.
Yeah.
Like Hollywood Hogan, dude drops the M-bomb a couple of times, makes some racist comments, perceived racist comments in his own house while being recorded, like, illegally. And, dude, WWE wiped their books clean of him, man. Hogan built professional wrestling, man, in the 80s.
Yeah, man, he's the fucking...
He was the man.
Yeah.
And they've literally just dusted him off, man, like it was just a shitty memory. Just because of, not just because of, but one comment, man, in the privacy of his own home, on a leaked audio tape, and they've literally just cleaned the record books of his existence.
Yeah.
He built that entire organisation, and they've just said, nah, doesn't exist, we don't know who he is. So if Michael Jackson was up for child sex case, offences, how many times through his career, and now they've discovered adolescent porn in his house, not now they discovered it, but it's just come out that there was porn found in his house, you can't just say stop slandering my dad. That changes
something to it,
the fucking legacy altogether.
Yeah.
That's fucked. I don't know, man.
Bill Cosby as well.
Cosby openly came out and said, I drugged women into having sex with me. Hypnol, the shit out of them, man. How does that fly? Dude, did you follow the Rolf Harris trial?
No, I wouldn't say followed, but
he was out of his mind by the they portrayed him, do you see the photos of him with a walking stick, the cane getting held by his daughter or whatever?
Yeah.
The guy started singing in court. He just broke into song that was part of his defence.
Claiming insanity or something?
No, he's an entertainer. He just literally, and they're like, you need to calm your client down because he's getting off the... Yeah. And I just pictured it. I tried to picture this nutty old man singing in court that's going to help his defence, his case. He was stripped, man. They got rid of Queen had knighted him or something. They removed everything he'd ever, all his accolades, everything. Right, they should, but... Man.
Wasn't is it Jimmy Savile?
Yeah, the other dude.
He was knighted as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Another one that was knighted.
He died before they anything came to surface, though. I'm pretty sure he was dead before it all came out.
Another one knighted, though, who was balls deep in fucking child shit.
Yeah, man. As if no one knows, man. Do you know what I mean? How can something that big be kept a secret for that long? It's man, do you see Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, the two Corys from the 80s, man? Corey Haim eventually killed himself, and Feldman came out not long ago,
talking about
this
all
week,
the abuse.
and he's there's a massive ring.
Yeah.
There's a massive ring of child performers and stuff getting tossed around.
There's another one just came out. Elijah Wood is the latest one on the bandwagon saying that shit.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood's now all over the internet saying that Hollywood is just fucking...
Yeah, there's a seething, teetering ring of pedophilia.
Satanic pedophilia.
Yeah.
That's just Elijah Wood's words.
But that's what bothers me. The Rolf Harris thing, man. How can no one not know and not say anything about it? Man, if you left... you could have gone to visit your cousin, right? And if someone saw you on the street with, just a random bird, you would know about it. Everyone in your family would know about it within seconds. There'd be no way to hide it. Even if you didn't do anything, dodgy. Same with me. If I came to see... Man, I could have come to see you at your place and your missus could have answered the door and said, oh, yeah, John's not here. I could just hung out the front talking to your missus for 5 minutes and then left. And someone would have seen me. Straight away, phone calls to you, what the fuck, there was a dude... do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can people ignore shit child abuse for that fucking long and not feel like saying anything, man? How can it be an open secret to that degree?
Probably because the people he's doing it with are doing it with him.
I know, but it's fucked, man. Like,
and then when it does come out, dude, like, why has it come out now? Like, is it because, like, oh, you're actually busted and now you're going to pay for it? Or it's just like, this guy did this, we're flaunting it in your face again. And yeah, this is going to happen to him, but really he's just going to be shipped.
Rolf Harris, how old is Rolf Harris, mate? Can you Google it?
Yeah, I'll Google it right now.
Yeah. How old is Rolf Harris? And when did he actually go to prison, man? And they're saying, like, he's not even going to serve a full sentence, man. Like, whatever.
But, like, you know, I mean, we're told he's gone to prison and he's going to fucking pay for his shit. But, I mean, who knows if he really is? Or he's going to some fucking...
Yeah, country club.
Palace, a country club.
Yeah, the country club.
Where he's fucking fed children. Here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to us, he's in prison. Like, and maybe he's just come out and this has been brought to our attention because they want to flaunt it in our face. Like, okay, so... Timey kangaroo down sport.
Timey kangaroo.
Born 1930.
30. Shit. He's 90. He'll be 90 in a couple of years. He's in his 80s. It's not, you know what? It's not even a conspiracy theory matter. Like, I'm not even talking about that sort of stuff because, like, man, like we were saying before, you know, with Arthur and like Nick as well. Like, I laughed because it was funny because, like, you guys were, like, facing off with, like, the facts and I was just going to get bombarded with, like, this conspiracy theory shit. And it's like, you know what? I believe, I'm interested in half this shit and I have an open mind. But at the same time, forget the conspiracy theory, just look at the facts.
Yeah.
How can someone like this be paraded around for that fucking long without someone turning that motherfucker in?
Exactly, dude.
Like, just in the good of conscience, man. And we're not talking about, okay, you took $100 out of the till for the company that you work for. You know, you cheated on your boyfriend, like, whatever. Like, this is... Like... You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. That says to me that people knew and they weren't going to say it.
Like the Spotlight thing, man. The ring of pedophilia and child abuse within the walls of the Catholic Church, man. We're not talking about where we work. We're not talking about the primary school down the street. We're talking about the biggest organisation on the planet. Who's got more members than the Catholic Church, man?
Man, I was watching the other day. I was watching Pope Francis when he came to New York. When he went to New York City.
Oh yeah.
And him going through Grand Central Park or whatever in New York. Like, there is nobody else on this planet that gets a reception like that and the amount of security.
Oh yeah.
Like, there was like 20 cars, full armor guard cars coming through before he came through in his little cart. The park was full of people, like, going spastic. Like,
yeah.
There is no one else on the planet that gets that kind of reception or that kind of security.
Michael Jackson, maybe. Maybe Michael Jackson. No, President of the United States wouldn't get that.
No.
Man, I remember, do you know what I remember? This is years ago. There was like some sort of convention going on in the States, I think. Yeah, it was in the States, somewhere in DC. This is, Johnny Howard was in power still. And there was a picture, there was a photo of Johnny Howard jogging, like, you know, through DC with one security guard. And the Aussie reporter, had commentated basically, some civilians just sitting there were like, who's that guy? It's like, oh, it mustn't be that important. He's only got one security guard. Just happens to be the Prime Minister of Australia. You know what I mean? Like, it's no one important, man. Don't stress.
No.
There's only one security guard.
Pope rolls through and it's fucking shut down, man. The whole fucking city was shut down.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, man...
People losing their shit.
After we talked about the World Youth Day, because I was looking for photos, and I found that one of my mate fist pumping. I also found a selfie that I took of me and him walking through the procession. And you just see it took me back because you just see the crowd behind us. And I'm just
losing their shit.
Holy shit, man! Holy shit! It was so big, such a big thing, and it's like, for what, man? I remember being at the pilgrimage and just seeing people everywhere, man, falling over each other. Man, the Pope drove past and people were losing their minds. You know what I don't like, man? You know what I don't like is when people say, there's nothing wrong with religion, it gives people hope and faith and something to lean towards, you know? It's going to solve all their problems. And then when their problems aren't solved because of, faith, it's God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't devout enough. And then they start to blame themselves. That's what pisses me off. The fact that, it's not the fact that people look at it as a form of comfort and safety. Okay, believe whatever fucking wild fiction you want to believe, which is going to make you feel better about whatever. But when people blame themselves because they didn't do enough, they didn't live devout enough lives, they didn't give enough at the fucking church, all that sort of shit, and then they free fall, man, and they spiral. They just go into a tailspin.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to be more like devout, we need to do more. It's like, man, like,
It's a strange mentality, isn't it?
dude, open up your mind to some free fucking will, dude. You know? I don't get it, man. I don't, like, you know?
Yeah.
And like I said before, like we were saying about how the second you challenge someone's religion or like religious leaning,
Look out.
they drop nuclear bombs like left, right, and centre and go ape shit. Like, you are the seed of Satan, but they look at you with complete malice, man. Like, how dare you? Like, I have a brain, bro. I'm going to question some shit that doesn't seem to add up. Like, what do you mean, how dare I? How dare you follow blindly to something you don't even know exists? Just because someone wrote a split. Like,
And the funniest thing is, man, the ones that are like full balls deep in religion, they're the ones that are the most judgmental people, I found. In my experience, they are the most judgmental.
judge not, lest ye be judged.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They are the most like
yeah.
I've just experienced so much shit, like just judging from like
Yeah.
look at you like you're a piece of shit, like scum, like.
Dude, you're talking to a Greek, man. Like, Greeks are staunch Greek Orthodox, you know? Like, staunch. Orthodox literally means the right way. The right way. Like, that's it. This is the right way. You know? Like, man, like, you live in Australia where, like, you know, religion gets tossed around, everyone's whatever, you know, because we've got so multicultural and stuff, but Greece, it's like 99.85% Greek Orthodox. Like, that's it. And then you've got, you know, Syrians and, other nations, other cultures that are Greek Orthodox. Like, that's what they believe as well. Man, you want judgmental? Fuck the Catholics, man. Go see the Orthodox. They are the worst, man. Go to a sermon on a Sunday morning. You want to shoot everyone in there. You'd be like, you people are fucked. Like, do you know how bad I used to get looks when you didn't know me when I was like 18, 19? Man, I had a shaved head and I had 4 cornrow braids like hanging off the side of my head. So I kept shaving my head, leaving mohawks, and then I'd have these cornrows just hanging out. I looked bizarre. I did. I looked fucking weird. You know? But I've got to go to church for like a wedding or something, or a christening, and I just get stared at. Man, I'd be in Clayton, like at the shops where everyone thinks that, you know, it's all these Greeks. Then you see me, I don't look typically Greek because these arrogant old people would think that no Greek would let their son walk around looking like that. But here I am. And they start talking shit about me. And it's like, you fucking cunts. Like, really, man? Because my hair's cut the way it is?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to get all preachy shit, but just like...
No, it's true, man. It's true.
Come on, man.
It's like Jehovah's Witness religion.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you do something they don't like, you get disfellowshipped.
Yeah.
Which means nobody...
No, blacklisted. You're just blacklisted.
Yeah, it's called disfellowshipped, and nobody in there, even your family members, cannot talk to you, dude.
Yeah.
They can't talk to you.
There's an article about the Amish. Like, dude, J-Dub's pretty progressive in the same way. Like, they're a really big religion, like, worldwide. And man, across the board, they accept anyone. You know, black, Asian, like, it doesn't matter what you are. They're really, really progressive in a lot of their thinking. Yeah? Man, the Amish. I was reading an article today in the paper about an Amish girl that wanted to break out of, like, one of the communities. You know, it's wrong to use electricity. Washing once a week, maybe. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people, man?
They're a weird... Yeah, it's...
It's fucked. It's really, really fucked up. You know? Man, it's
a fucking bizarre world, isn't it?
Yeah. Because everything's just theory. And, like, people forget the concrete stuff. You know? Everyone goes, oh, what the fuck? Oh, hang on a second.
Yeah, they do forget the concrete stuff, don't they? Like, the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Just how to be a good person to live. And it's just...
Yeah. Oh,
just
man.
all this fucking hate and rivalry and...
Hang on. Dude, I hate Max for this reason and this reason alone.
What's it doing?
I started bouncing out the last track, but I didn't actually select it properly, and now I can't actually shut it down. Is it like a Control-Alt-Delete thing on a Mac? Like where you want to override all this bullshit that it's doing and just say, listen.
Just double click on the GarageBand icon, 2 fingers.
Yeah.
And then just hit quit, force quit, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Fuck, I hate Macs. Come on.
You know one good thing about Macs, like if you're deleting a program that you've installed on your computer, you know with PCs how you have to actually uninstall it?
Yeah.
Like you've got to go into programs and files or whatever and then select the program and uninstall it, and it takes a while to uninstall it.
Yeah.
With Macs, you literally just go into the folder where it is, delete it, and it's gone.
No paper trail.
No paper trail.
So it's safe to say that most of the world's corrupt individuals that use Macs. You know what I mean?
Hillary Clinton was using a Mac.
Oh, dude, she was. You know she was. You know she was, man. And that's not even me trying to be funny. Like, that's a fact.
Dude, I really think Bernie's going to take this presidency.
You reckon?
Because everyone's sleeping on that whole Hillary thing. It's like it doesn't even exist anymore. But she committed a fucking crime.
How bad was the crime?
Well, other people have done the same thing that she did, that were in power, and they've got, like, totally just kicked out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bernie.
And I was watching this interview with Bernie the other day, and they're like, because it basically looked like he's not going to win because she's won more of the votes or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just looks at the camera and he winks and he goes, it doesn't look like I'm going to be the next candidate. I'm just like...
It's a dirty reptilian wink.
Dirty reptilian.
I don't know, man. Bernie, like, man, I haven't followed anything to do with Bernie Sanders at all. All I've been getting is what you've been telling me. Like,
ever since he went to the Vatican, dude, and had a private meeting with the Pope.
Yeah, no shit.
And whoever's closest to the Pope is the ones that will get rewarded. And they kind of look similar, man. Francis and Bernie. I brought up a side-by-side
picture. They've got the same stylist.
I brought up a picture on the laptop, side by side. They look fucking similar, dude.
Do they? Yeah. I couldn't pick the Pope out of a lineup, man. I'm serious, I couldn't. I've ignored so much of that shit. Nothing to do with it.
Because he's the first Pope. He's the first Jesuit Pope.
What's that?
Remember I told you about the Jesuits? They're like the
spin-offs.
Spin-offs that sort of are in high places of power and whatnot. So he's the first Jesuit Pope, and he's also the first Pope to like do a backflip on all like the fundamentals of, you know, like he's open to gay marriage a little bit, and he's
trying to be progressive.
Yeah, like trying to like. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know. But man, like, you know, it's amazing. Like the last, say, our lifetime, like our span so far, how much we've changed. Like leaps, man. It's like the you know what used to spin me out is like, you know, your Sega Master System or your Nintendo console. Yeah, that was 8-bit. The next jump up was 16-bit. Then the next jump up was 32. Then you had Nintendo 64. And then like you just let go of the counter because it just kept. And your computers as well, man. All your CPUs would always go in multiples.
Yeah.
And I was just say, if they can do that, then why don't they just multiply it by like the biggest number possible, rather than just keep going in these little things? And it was just to keep getting us to upgrade and spend money.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And meanwhile, there were supercomputers like all over the world that just do like incredible shit we've never even heard of. And at the same time,
keep that market going, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Keep the game going.
Like, like you can't just go to the best automatic.
You can't get something that's awesome that's not going to break down because then the system will fail.
Yeah, then what's going to happen with people that are in those jobs? And man, I used to think about it too. Like, and then you look at our parents, you know, and how close-minded or like cut off they might be, but we're like sort of just keep of like just because of the stream of information, man, that we've got.
That's what it is. Like they didn't have access to information like
we didn't have access to this sort of shit 10 years ago.
I can just pick up my phone and fucking figure out anything I want.
Yeah.
Just for the push of a few buttons. Like that's something that they did not even have.
I'll send a video of me dancing to my cousin, you know, on the other side of the world, like right now, live.
It's such a different world to when our parents were young.
Man, remember, I was a kid writing letters to Greece to my grandfather for Easter, you know, writing in a card, and we'd send it like a month before. Like, what do you mean? Yeah? And what's capable and what's not capable. Man, like, so much information about anything that people don't know that could help them, and their brains aren't wired up like that. Like, man, my dad, I was trying to give him some development advice for like property, and he's like, you can't do that, that's impossible. I'm like, yeah, but you can.
He's still got that old mentality.
Yeah.
Just this is what it is.
Hey, you meant to do this, hey, you meant to do that. I'm like, there are avenues, my friend. Talk to someone.
My friend.
That's what I swear to God. It's not really, that's how I said it to him. Okay, you call me a liar. Okay, I'm telling you outright. This is how it is. This is the fact. And he just sort of went quiet because it's like, shit. Like, maybe I am out of touch. Fine. Like, maybe it's finally coming to him that he's out of touch. But that's one thing older people, not old people, but older people have a really hard time, like, actually accepting, unless they know they need help with something and they want to guilt you into doing it. It's like, I don't know how to do this. It's like, all right, man. But what about when I'm telling you something as a fact and I don't know because, yeah, man, you're just so young. Back to that horse.
Yep.
It's fucking infuriating, dude.
But it's moving so, like, exponentially, like, just the rate of information and how everyone's getting connected and technology. Like, imagine what it's going to be like in, like, just 10 years.
Oh.
Dude, the world's going to be completely different. Like, artificial intelligence. I listen to this podcast as well.
Oh, shit.
Dude, like,
Yeah.
they've come leaps and bounds, man. Like, already, like, there's no one that can beat a computer in chess. There's this other game. What is it? There's some other game that's even more intricate than chess, and there's, like, way more moves and shit.
Yeah, because they've invented heaps of that sort of shit.
And the computer's, like, fully mastered that now. But
Really?
it did it in this way. Oh, I can't remember all the facts of it. I'm a dumbass. But it did it in this way of where it, like, it was, like, sneaky about it, the way it beat the humans and shit, dude. These
Like it was actually like
it was actually
it was an
thinking.
intelligent move,
Yeah,
not just a.
it wasn't just it was like an intelligent, like, sneaky way it did it.
The only way to do it would have had to have analysed it
Yeah.
off the grid, not
Yeah.
just looking at
Yeah.
numbers. Yeah, that's scary.
And then there's the whole discussion of whether or not, once they fucking crack it, is it just going to be this awesome thing that just helps us, or is it going to be like
Something we have to fight.
humans don't need to live?
Skynet.
You're obsolete. Oh, Skynet, exactly.
Yeah.
Is it either going to be Skynet or is it going to be like, yeah?
Yeah. Like Jetsons. The Jetsons.
You should listen to that one, actually, man. It's fucking really interesting.
Man, there are people, you know, man, most people don't give a fuck about what we're saying. Like right now, this conversation we're having, man, they just don't give a fuck.
Oh, some people listen for 2 seconds and zing over their
It's
head.
just, it's too much. It's sort of bullshit. Like, it's not even that it's bullshit, because what we're saying, man, like what we're talking about, it's not even conspiracy theory shit.
Nah.
It's just progression of mankind and where we're headed as a people. But most people do not give a fuck.
Nah.
As long as they get their fucking cheeseburger and their Kardashian rerun, they do not give a fuck. Because it's not going to be important to them. And that's the thing, man. Like, I used to be, man, when I was younger, like a lot younger, I used to walk around on edge because, like, I used to question, like, everything, and everything used to piss me off. Like, I mean, that's a good thing about this podcast as well, because you get to vent a lot of this shit that we probably have bottled up. Right?
Totally.
But at the same time, I do a lot of loose sort of stuff because I know that I've only got, you know, if I don't starve to death or get thrown out in the cold or die of hypothermia, I've only got so many years to be able to do like a lot of stuff. So I try and keep that in mind. Where it's like, fuck it, like I got to do it, man. Like my tats, you know,
That's a good way. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I
That's one thing I don't do enough of, but yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just even with my tats, man. Just like I said, fuck it.
Just fuck it. I'm gonna die.
This is important. Yeah, this is important to me. People aren't gonna fucking like it, whether or not. Like, who gives a fuck? It means nothing. It's just ink on skin. You know, I did, man. One thing I used to say about was all the travelling I did, because man, mind you, I've done fuck all travelling since, say, I moved out by myself. You know, and I'm 100% relying on myself. Man, I'm struggling. All my stories, man, all of it come from like a specific group of years when I was earning decent money but didn't have any overheads like I do now, you know? And I used those years to like, fuck it, like I'm not going to get a chance to do this again. Where I've got mates and stuff that kept saying, why are you going travelling all the time? Why are you going travelling? I'm like, because I want to, like this is important to me. Or why don't you like, you know, why don't you buy a house and get married and then go travelling? I'm like, yeah, but dude, I went to Amsterdam. I was in like an underground gabba rave, you know, that you needed to have a contact.
Yeah.
You know, it's like new SIM card, illegal party in the warehouse. We've got the call. You're coming out. La la la. Like, I can't do that when I'm 50. And I don't do drugs, man. It was just about being there and seeing it. And, I did Ibiza. I did Ibiza with like my ex, my girlfriend at the time. When would we be, man? 50 years old, back to Ibiza with the backpackers. You know what I mean?
That seedy old man.
Yeah. Do I want to be that fucking creep at Vegas doing the slots? Or do I want to be, like, say, with Nick and my mate who I met overseas as well, doing a road trip? Like, opportunities, man. Like, that's the thing. And, man, a lot of people don't care. You know that kid that I was telling you about, The Soprano? The one that I ran into at there?
Yeah.
Man, birth announcement 2 days ago, like a week ago. They're expecting. And I was just like, how the fuck? And like Nick was just saying, he goes, man, some people just cruise and they just get shit handed to them. Like, just,
Yeah.
Some people have to work hard to get jobs, keep relationships going, like work for every fucking penny, and be on top of it. Like, on top of it, man, this guy, dude,
just cruises through.
It would take him a year to figure out that like a possum had died in his house and started smelling up, and that's the reason why. He'd be the guy that just kept adding air fresheners to the back room. You know what I mean? Like that guy. I'm not even joking. That's the sad part. That's the saddest part, and it really aggravates me, man. Like, all the stuff, man, the stuff we just spoke about with Arthur, like, the guy, man, Arthur came in and he had fucking, like, paperwork, man, with facts.
I was impressed by that shit.
Man, that spun me the fuck out. I knew that was going to come, man. That's Arthur, man. Yeah, Prince Valiant. I love it. He's bulletproof. He won't just talk shit.
I think so many people just get swept up by the fucking media train and the fucking pop culture and shit, and they just forget everything else.
They don't care.
Like, I've got some girlfriends, man, like chick friends, that, like, they have boob implants and have their hips done. All they care about, man, is looking good.
Yeah.
And, like...
vanity, man.
Like, that is number one priority.
Vanity and money. Vanity and money. Having more than the other person around you.
And every time I'm around these people, it's just... There is no any different topic of conversation other than just like looking good or like me fucking like, this is a bubble they live in, man. Like, and nothing else matters. I
didn't go to the gym because I wanted like ripped fucking abs. You know what I mean? I went because of all my injuries over time. I needed to strengthen like my shit up, like my back and all that sort of stuff, man. And I started feeling like sluggish. Like my health was just starting to deteriorate because I was just eating crap. Didn't have like a set routine. I just wanted to start strengthening up again so I wouldn't be decrepit at like 85 years old. You know what I mean? There are people that get spray tans and go to the gym, full makeup. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And you know, if that's what you want to do, by all means, man. But then don't look at me like I'm scum.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, no sense.
But it's frustrating as well because, like, we can see how fucked the world is, and shit's not going to change with the majority of people in their own little fucking me bubble.
No one cares, man. At what point do you stop caring? You know? At what point do you stop caring? How far is it going to go, man? It's going to collapse eventually. Yeah, like big time.
And what makes the difference between people like you and me that look at this shit, get infuriated by it, want to talk about it? What's different between us and the people that are just wrapped up in their own little world and don't give two fucks about the world? Like, what makes...
I don't know. It all what makes us different?
Like what? Yeah.
Nothing that's the thing. Nothing. Essentially, we're all the same, yeah. But then we're not because you've got kids starving out in Africa that haven't got fucking bread. What makes us different is how we grew up, what we went through growing up, what was the ideals that were taught into us, what was drummed into us, what we picked up, what we didn't pick up. Because you got to understand, man. Like, I mean, we keep comparing like our sides of the fence. The fact that, you know, you grew up where you grew up, I grew up how I grew up, different things we would have encountered. You know what I mean? But in school, I guarantee you and I, man, we were from different neighbourhoods, different sides of town, completely different sides of town, different fucking face when we walk into class. But I guarantee you, the both of us would have been listening to the same shit when it was getting drummed into us, and we would have been picking it apart at the same points. I mean, people don't give a fuck about any of that, man. It's not part of their agenda, and that's cool. But at the same time, man, it's fucked.
Yeah, it's just interesting, like, what makes someone, like, want to look into shit like that, and then what makes someone just want to... Nah.
People don't care. People will take their finances... No, people will take health. Like let's take health. I got mates that will pick apart every fucking meal they have, man. Like down to granules. Where did this come from? Where was it cooked? Where was it grown? Who touched it? What was, is this cattle? Okay, that's beef. What was fed into it? Like, I'm talking microscopic, like so much, like is it wasted energy or not? Because people wouldn't look into half the shit me and you would spend hours like researching over nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Like, how can that be important to this cunt? It's not important to me.
Yeah.
It's like finding the balance, being aware, like awareness, man. But do you know what the other thing is, dude? Are you aware? Have you ever seen that hashtag?
Are you aware?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Do you know where I used to see that hashtag pop up a lot, man? My fitness mates' Instagram pics. Like gym selfies.
Actually, yeah, I have a memory of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gym selfies, man.
Yeah.
If you're a gym selfie.
Are you aware?
Are you aware? Is it some sort of new revolution where we all have to be like Spartans? Do you know what I mean? Like Spartans. Man, I get so frustrated when I'm just, on Insta or something, just, wasting time. Just wasting time. Like, literally. Because not everything we do has to be productive. Like, not everything, man.
No.
You gotta switch off.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
So I'm like on Insta or something, just wasting time, looking through just feeds, just exploring. And you just see pictures of and dudes are the worst for it, man. Just see these pictures of these hairless dudes, like immaculately groomed, like eyebrows, lifting like weights.
Yeah, I know.
The protein shake. Look like they've got fucking makeup on.
Yeah.
Are you aware? I'm sorry. What am I missing, bro?
That's so retarded, dude.
What am I missing, man? Is this like the new form of masculinity or something that like we all need to abide by? Like you're the alpha male now, dude. I can give a fuck. I could give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many fucking vain. Like a selfie isn't a bad thing. Like it's not a bad thing, man. I do not believe a selfie is a bad thing. Like the actual thing, man, selfies existed like at the beginning of cameras. Like, old time selfies of photographers looking in the mirrors. Yeah. It's just you wanting to record, like capture that event.
Yeah.
And man, I have friends and relatives like all over the world where I wouldn't be able to talk to them. Like I wouldn't get time, hours difference. So what we do is we just send a selfie, like just a selfie. Like here's what I look like, man. Like right now, and I'm smiling and I'm sending it to you. And you get one back. It's like, where are you? I'm at work, or I'm at home. He's one of me and the kid. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad thing. And sometimes it's just you capture. We have the freedom to take photos of everything now. Which, man, remember when those disposable? We were talking about it. Remember the disposable cameras?
Do I want?
Yeah. You take a photo with a disposable camera, man, and it's like you cherish every fucking thing. Well, we have the freedom to make it disposable now, like to the point where you can just take a million photos of everything and document it. Cool. Mankind documents everything. We've documented the hieroglyphics, man, in Egypt, man. Mm-hmm. They're documenting history. That's documentation. Mm-hmm. The constellations in the sky are documentation from ancient Greece, man.
Yep.
Because they were stories like that. That's documenting fucking history. Like we're still doing that, and that's what that's what a selfie really is. You're documenting. But when it's a form of vanity, because you're trying to use that as a fucking bartering tool, then you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, totally.
Do you know what I mean? And then these fucking are you aware retards. Are you aware of what I hate it? Where like everyone's on that kick where they're so fucking educated because they've got like the nutrition down pat and they've got this regiment down pat and they've got like they're studying some bullshit as well. But the actual motivation behind it isn't because it's like self-awareness. It's just arrogance.
It's to brag.
Yeah, it's bragging rights.
It's bragging rights. That's what it is.
Like, man, we're only asking a few questions and we're admitting openly we're fucking idiots.
Oh, totally.
Like, we want to be educated, like, about anything. That's why we brought Arthur in, for fuck's sake. Yeah, we didn't spend 3 hours ranting about politics. We brought Arthur in, who I know knows something about it, man. So that's why we brought him in, just to give us some insight and maybe help someone else, Like, fuck. But these idiots, these clean-cut fucking wanks act like they've found the key to life, and most of them aren't even like 23 years old, never done anything but study like some bullshit fucking degree, For what purpose, man? Just to fucking... Just brag.
Man, all Facebook and Instagram is this day. Like, I see it firsthand because my missus is on that shit like crazy. But all I see on it is just, I'm better than you. Like, and trying to keep up with the Joneses. Like, I did this. Look what I'm doing. I'm here. Like, and yeah, it's just like...
Yeah, it's stupid, man. What the, like... You just, like, what the fuck? Is that where we're headed, man? Do you reckon, like, it's going to just suck it? Like, and the thing is, everyone's...
I think that's where that's where they want us headed, so we're not aware to this other shit.
But that's the thing, man. Like, I'm not even talking about starting a revolution or some shit, like we're like the new Che Guevara or something. You know? Like, Malcolm X did not come from Clayton. You know, like, as in, he's not coming. Malcolm II is not coming from Clayton. This has nothing to do with what we're doing. We're doing nothing. We're just talking, man.
Yeah.
But it's just like, fuck me, man.
But it's kind of important what we're doing, because if we can, like, open up some people's minds to that sort of thing, it's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I don't know. They're like all these useless facts, like, from everything, man. Like, from politics to movies to just useless facts about anyone and anything. Some of it's actually legit, like, you know what I mean?
Someone could hear us, like, hear one fact, and it could just totally spark their mind, and they could totally look at life in a completely different way. Just
Dude, Tupac said that. That was the Tupac quote.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow.
Tupac, it was, they snippeted it as part of the trailer for his Resurrection DVD that came out, the one that Eminem co-produced. He said something like, I'm not saying that I'm going to change the world. I kind of, it's going to be a misquote. I've got it written down somewhere. It was on my face, his quotes, yeah? He said something like, I don't think I'm going to change the world, but I think I'm going to spark the mind of the individual that will go on to change the world.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly
as in, like, he doesn't think in his lifetime he's going to make the massive change, but something he says will spark the brain of the individual. And that makes sense. You know? And that's being realistic. He knew he had a time frame, and he wasn't going to get the work done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love how Tupac said that in like 96 or 95, like before he died. Kanye West came out and said, I've got the answers, I just need $53 million.
And I can't tell you what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, man, they're both comparative. I mean, they're both hip-hop artists. Yeah. They're both hip-hop artists in two different, like, decades. And there's the difference, man. One dude is saying, like, you look at his music or whatever and you check out his interviews and stuff, man. Some of it's pretty legit. Like, he makes I remember he said something like, you know, buying a house, you know, all that sort of stuff, applying for a job, like all this sort of shit. They don't teach that in school, but they teach, you know, volleyball.
No shit.
Yeah.
They don't teach you anything like...
Life skills
in school at all.
How much focus was on algebra, dude? Do you remember calculus?
I remember just staring at it like, get me the fuck out of here. I do not want to look at this shit.
Yeah. When have you needed to use algebra since you did it in high school, man?
Not once.
Once. I use the word as a joke.
Yeah.
When I'm discussing something completely irrelevant. That's the only time I ever reference algebra. Go fuck yourself.
Teach us something useful. Fucking how to make a fucking garden at home. How to be fucking self-sufficient, like with food. Like how to fucking be wise with your money. Like teach us fucking nonsense, man. Absolute nonsense.
Where's it? Like, man, I didn't learn shit. Do you know what I learned in high school, man? I'll tell you what I learned in high school. I learned that people are fucked, and a good portion of cunts out there just want to step on you just because you're either exposing insecurity in them, or they need to fucking, you know.
Yeah.
They need to double up to make themselves feel better.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I learned, man. I got bullied to the fuck in high school. And everyone's like, you're so fucking negative. I go, mate, if I was negative, I would have either been on drugs right now, or I would have killed myself a long time ago. I'm fucking positive. I'm a positive person considering the shit that I went through growing up. You know, and I'm not the only one, man. Fucking everyone. You know, that's what I learned in high school. I didn't learn shit.
Yeah.
What did you learn? Nothing. You learned how to do enough to get through these fucking tests. Probably wouldn't amount to shit either. You need a good enter score. Alright, man. Is that the only way to go through life? You need a good enter score. You're asking 15-year-olds to make their career choices. Dude, my subjects and my applications for TAFE and uni, man, even though I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere, they were done by my careers counsellor who fucking hated me, right? She hated me. She says, "What do you want to go next year? What do you want to do?" I go, "I don't know." I said to her, "I don't fucking know." Dude, I was bordering like suicide, man. Like, I don't fucking know what I want to do next year. I don't know what I'm doing now. Do you know what I mean? Where do you want to go? I'm like, "Well, what subjects are you doing?" Yeah, and I'm like, "All right, I'm doing business management and an IT class." "Why are you doing those subjects?" I actually don't remember picking them. I'm pretty sure they were picked for me. "Well, why are you in them?" "Because I like computers." "Okay, well, we'll put you in this." I'm like, "But I don't," that's how my, like.
And the other thing is, man, everyone is different.
Yeah.
Everybody matures at a different rate. Everybody learns at a different rate. Yet you cram them all into this one stupid thing and expect people to come out like...
And that's what you're teaching them at 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, ridiculous, man.
Indoctrination into just, like, mind fuck.
You should be fucking...
I know. What do you say, man? What do you fucking say? Man, between you and me, man, I think of high school, I fucking blocked like 98% of high school out. And the shit that I remember, man, that I want to remember, is honestly shit that happened with Nick. Or like, Johnny D, or like some of the few, like, man, I've talked to no one from high school. I talked to half a dozen people, maybe. That's a big maybe. Maybe. Actually keep in close contact with people from like that era. Man, the rest of it was fucking horrific, man. You know what I mean? And you wonder, like, when, like, these kids go out...
I used to hate going to school.
I hated it.
We used to just wag, man, because we used to hate being there.
I hated being there, man. I fucking hated it. I absolutely hated it. It's like, oh, your attitude's wrong. Like, my attitude is wrong? Like, is that what it is?
My attitude is, this is fucking stupid, and I'm just learning fucking nonsense.
I'm wasting my fucking time. And I'm open to fucking learning, man. Teach me something new. Like anyone, I'm begging you, teach me something new. But come on, man. And the thing is, they just keep going about it like it's the norm. And all they're doing is chipping away at the foundations and making it harder and harder for it to just operate. Now it's just a business. Like, it's always been a business, but that should not be education, man. My cousin raised a mad point years ago, because she said something like, in the old days, you sought higher education because you wanted to educate yourself on something, like getting a degree in like philosophy or being a doctor or a solicitor. Mm-hmm. It's because you wanted to know what the laws were. You wanted to be a doctor because you wanted to have that information. Mm-hmm. You wanted to know. Mm-hmm. Now it's just a pathway to a job, and that's it. Like, I'll memorize enough shit so they can pay me to be in a building at a better rate than you.
That's it in a nutshell, dude.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell.
Like audio engineering, dude, right? I went to SAE, did like a year and a half, 2 years of audio engineering, like at an institute, you know? But that's not where I learned how to do engineering. I learned to do engineering by I remember getting my computer, figuring out how to hook up all these speakers and shit to it, then downloading whatever bullshit software I could get for free or whatever.
Just doing it.
And then doing it. Throwing myself into it, because I'd spend I'd get home from school, man, and I'd go straight to my room and sit there with headphones on till 3 in the morning doing remixes and just tearing apart sound fragments. Like, do you know what I mean? That's how I learned how to do engineering, not by going to fucking school and they got the book. You can write the whole course off with just the manual that they give you at the start of the year.
Yeah.
But I spent $12,000 doing this course. If I spent the $12,000 on the equipment, I would have learned the same shit. At least I would own the fucking equipment at the end of the year.
You would have learnt it better because you would have been doing it.
Yeah, man. That's how I've learnt it, man. And that's like anything, dude. Like, man, real physicians and real doctors, they don't go to school and they're studying in uni and then that's it. They're constantly upgrading their fucking reading materials, man. They're looking for, like new papers on fucking medicines and like the body.
Big time.
Like, it's their passion. Like, that's what they want to be doing. Mm-hmm. You know?
Mm-hmm. Here's a textbook.
Yeah. Memorize it.
Then memorize it. Repeat
it back to me.
Repeat it, and we'll see how well you do.
And I'll give you a fucking star for repeating it back to me. You're qualified.
We'll see how well you can repeat it. If this person's a better repeater, they'll do better.
Yeah. What have you learned? Dick. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
That's exactly what you mean.
What are you meant to say to that, man? How? When does it... It's so frustrating, man.
That's the word, frustrating.
It's frustrating, because it's not like, I don't want to get all like preachy where it's like the system, let it be the system, it's the fucking system. I don't want to get preachy about that, man, because like, the system worked to a degree, but you need to tweak the fucking thing. Like you flash back a couple hundred years or whatever, man, lepers were kept on an island, away from everyone. Blacks were slaves. The system has to change eventually, but now it's like if you question the system, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Like, the system always change. Society, like civilization, will always progress. As technology changes, as everything fucking changes, everything will change. Period. Whether we like it or not, it's just the way it's going to be. New ideals, self-awareness, understanding of like the universe, the planet, like people. Psychology, man. Psychology wasn't considered anything until how many years ago?
Yeah, it wouldn't be that long ago.
They were talking about it in ancient Greece, but like psychology degrees and just that whole thing, self-awareness, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's only progressed in how many years, man?
Yeah.
So it's a sign, like, man, shit will change, but fuck, man, like, I don't know. I get, and that's the thing, I get, like, if you just work a job just to get it, make a paycheck, like, you don't have to be passionate about your job, but I guarantee you're going to have something passionate in the sidelines somewhere, whether it's your garden, whether your passion is your kids, you just want to raise your kids, or your footy team, fuck, I don't know, like, whatever it is.
Fill in the blank, cooking, fucking, whatever I am.
Yeah, and then you meet people with no interests, no passion, they just exist. Exist purely for the sake of fucking existing. It's like, dude, there's so much fucking more, man. But they look at you like you're nuts. Man, I used to hear, like, people would ask me, like, especially like when I was big in media and stuff, man, and like, at one point, man, I was like 10 years ago, I was like playing footy for a team like on the other side of town. I'd be doing audio stuff, I'd be going to school, I'd be working, had a girlfriend. I was just driving like 600 k's a week minimum just to do all this stuff. Every hour was packed.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing this for, man? What for? You be fucked. I'm like, what are you doing with your time, motherfucker?
Watching TV series.
That's it. Sitting on the couch with one hand down the pants, Al bunding it up, man. And they look at you like you're nuts. What are you doing this for? What do you mean, man? They're just waiting, to knock up some bird and pump out a kid because that's like just what you do. Like,
Yeah, it's what you do.
That's what you do. Like, you're fucked, bro.
Yeah.
And then just start the whole tailspin again. Fuck with parents. Yeah, especially our generation, man. It's going to be scary. Fuck, man. Like, at least like our parents' generation, that had that whole family indoctrination. Like, try and raise your kid, right? Dude, our generation, man, you're either right down the line and you know what you're doing, or you're completely fucked. Do you know what I mean? There's no balance.
Yeah.
It's either you're doing everything right, or you're doing nothing right. That's it. And that's what fucking scares me, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know, what do you say to that, man? But, like, I reckon shit's going to hit the fan before our time's up. Shit is going to hit the fan hard.
Definitely.
Because that tailspin, man, it's just a drain. I don't know. Just start smoking, man.
All you can do is start a podcast and just vent it.
Yeah, get it off the chest. That's it. Man, you don't know. Like, man, some days, man, you just think, fuck, this is the end. See some poor cunt on the news has just like lost his shit. Like, life's just beating him down, and it's just. You know what I have a big problem with, man? I have a big problem with like usually like the murder-suicide. I have a massive problem with that.
So common.
I hate the murder-suicide where it's like, I've killed someone because of, ex-lover or the boss or some shit, and then I've topped myself off after that because you can't deal. Wouldn't you have like a sense of relief? You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking like a psycho right now. But wouldn't you want to stick around just to
bathe in the
Because you know what, man? Not even bathing like what you've done. But the problem is in these situations is that someone snaps, because they weren't heard. They felt cheated, they felt robbed, they felt frustrated, they felt angry, they felt done wrongly by.
Yeah.
So it's just they want to be heard. And this person that they're directing their energy towards isn't hearing them, is ignoring them, is disregarding them, so they snap, they shoot this cunt, right? They destroy him. Man, if the cops come and take you away, you're going to be heard, whether you like it or not. Yeah. Your side of the story is going to come out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Surely there's got to be some relief in that, man.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But with the murder-suicide, you never know. Like, the guy just dies and that's it. Oh, well, we heard he was a jilted lover, he had an affair with his neighbour, and it came out. Yeah, it's like, okay, that's just what the cops are telling you. Like, we pieced it together, we found a diary with his fingerprints. Yeah. Like, you found it, okay, cool, you found a diary. This guy had a meticulous diary. June 29, 7 a.m. She didn't return my call. Bitch. Yeah, bad. And then I just start getting more and more, scattered. Just loose, I'll tell you what, man. I reckon that's what's going to happen with me. That's going to be my way.
Murder-suicide end.
Not even like a murder-suicide, but at some point they're going to discover a diary, even if it's just these podcasts. I'm just getting looser and looser and looser. And then after the fact, they're just going to find a timeline of my life where they start uncovering lyrics that I may have written when I was 15, just seething, you know what I mean? This underbelly, just this.
This is where it began.
This is it. It's we didn't see it coming. It was always pretty quiet. Yeah, it was a bit funny. You know what I mean? Dude, could you imagine? Think about your life, man, and what people would uncover. If you just disappeared and they had to start searching for answers.
Oh.
It makes you want to go home, burn everything, and just leave.
Literally.
Your missus wakes up at 4 a.m, just hears the stato drifting out of the driveway. You've taken the garage door right off. You know what I mean? You're throwing burning papers out the back.
All my drawers are empty.
I'm telling you, man.
All my little boxes that were under the stairs are gone.
There's all these holes in the backyard. A trail of dirt to a garbage bin that's just on fire.
The drawers I was always rummaging around in are just empty now.
Just gone. You had your personal space, your cupboard space. It's just they're gone. I'm not even joking, man.
I know, that's why it's funny.
It's fucked. It is so fucked up. But that is something I think about, man. Seriously.
Humans are so weird, dude.
Yeah. We're an odd bunch. We're a fucking odd bunch, man.
Nurture or nature?
Nurture or nature? What do you mean?
Are we crazy from just how we are, or is it our programming from a young age?
I don't know. Do you reckon animals have religions? Think about it.
Like ants?
Yeah.
Gather round.
Do you reckon they have religions? I'm not talking, you know what ants have, man? They have a system. They have a society. The queen and all that, and bees and shit, right? That's a society based on work and production. So they have, order. Do you reckon they have religions? Do you reckon they have intelligent thought to have religions?
I don't know.
Because they always, I remember in Seinfeld, George asked the question, do you reckon chickens have personalities? Because if they've got personalities, I don't think we should be eating them. Yeah, do you reckon animals have religion? Because clearly they have, even with wolves and animals, you got the alpha male, the pack leader. There's a system. There's a society. There's a system, and it's a society, man, a civilization. Like the alpha male, the queen bee.
Yeah.
We can just make them up. Animals have them.
So you got the workarounds, the fucking ones.
And clearly animals develop personalities.
Oh yeah, big time.
Because, you know, you get a dog that's really affectionate, then you get a dog that's barking your balls just because it wants to bark.
Dude, we used to have ferrets. Some were just psychos. Some were fucking, like, awesome, real playful. Like, yeah, they definitely,
So they have personalities. We can determine that they have personalities.
Yes.
Do you reckon they have religions? Do you know how fucking funny that would be?
I'm just picturing, like, ants in, like, little, like, Catholic robes.
The badger.
Little staff. Hello, my children. Maybe they do, Dimmy. Maybe they do.
Maybe they do, man. That's a question. That is a decent question.
I'm not going to rule it out.
I feel like I'm stoned, but I'm not. This is the shit you ask when you're stoned. I'm just tired, man. I've like literally haven't stopped moving for 8 days straight of work, and then the weekend just killed it. Like I had 2 hours sleep and then 4 hours sleep, and then.
Sounds like you guys consumed a fair amount of alcoholic beverage.
I did it. Do you know what I did, man? I smoked like I don't know how many cigars and a couple of ciggies as well, man.
Oh, did you really?
First time, like, man, Nick and I were walking back from men's at 3 in the morning, whatever, back to the hotel.
And he's like, "You want a ciggy?"
And we were just walking, and something pissed me off. I go, "Man, give me a fucking smoke." I've actually found a selfie with me and him. I've got this fag hanging out of my mouth, like just burning. I didn't even remember doing it. I woke up in the morning. It was like I had 4 photos.
No wonder you feel like shit as well. That'll be fucking like.
Yeah, I swear to God, it was hilarious. We were sitting on the balcony, man, listening to It was 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30. We were freezing, but we didn't jerry because we were just tired and gone. And I had my phone just playing old school like hip hop tunes. Like I woke up and I had Ambitions as a Rider, Tupac, Warren G. Like just what the fuck? What did I listen? Why would I be listening to these on my phone? I've got them on my iPod, I've got them in my car. And then I remembered, like, just Nick and I sitting there shivering, talking about life at 4 in the morning. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, there's a bedroom where one of our mates has passed out. There's like vomit all over the floor. Just shit like that. One guy's snoring his head off. I woke up wearing what I'm wearing right now, besides this t-shirt, alright? And I had a lighter in my pocket.
Nice.
I woke up with a lighter in my pocket. Like, what am I doing? Why do I have a lighter?
Am I a smoker now?
Yeah. First time ever, man.
So how was the cigarette? Was it like...
No, I didn't even notice, man. I think because of all the scotch that I drink.
Yeah.
Years of drinking scotch, just like...
Just calloused walls of the throat.
Yeah, man.
Just a barren wasteland down there.
There's a termite in my throat. He's got a rake and he's just raking the walls of my throat just to fuck with me. You know what I mean? It's me clearing my throat. It's just the parasites just going to work.
That's what I think about like, often. Like, I don't know how I'm not more fucked up than what I am, like health-wise.
Why? Because all the shit you've done?
Dude, from 18 onwards, I have just consumed alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, like flat out. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm talking a solid fucking 12 years flat out. Flat out.
The abuse that I put my body through just on...
Like, I just don't know how I'm not completely fucked. Like, I'm not saying I'm fucking, like, amazing or anything, but...
You're lying. You go home and do, like, 2-finger push-ups. You're like... you got your legs up on the wall doing inverted 2-finger push-ups.
Not at all, but I thought maybe, I should be like...
Tony Atlas just lifting. Those boulders. What are those? Just...
I don't know how my body's held up, dude. Like, I don't really...
Yeah, but you don't eat a lot of shit. You may have at one point.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like the amount of drugs... Just, like, let's take drugs. Like, you know how bad drugs are for you. The amount of drugs... I'd hate... The amount of drugs I've consumed can fill this table, like, in a massive mound, like, easily.
A mound?
Just a mound of dust.
The amount of booze I used to drink.
Booze as well?
Man, I remember being 18, going to clubs. Like, we're regulars at 1 or 2 clubs, as 18-year-olds. And the bartenders, like, picked me up right away, because I remember when I turned 18, I shaved my head for the first time. So imagine going to a club, like, just imagine you're a bartender, you see a kid walk through the door one week, and then the next week he comes back, he's got a shaved head, and instantly you just recognise him. It's like, hey, you've shaved your head. Mm-hmm. I became that guy. Mm-hmm. So the bartenders and, like, security and stuff would always recognise me just because of that little change.
Yep.
And I was always pretty loud. Man, I remember I walked in the area, man, and the dude behind the bar was like, hey, got something new in this week, it's a promo drink. I'm like, what is it? He goes, what is it? He goes, it's from Smirnoff. It's that Smirnoff Black. that black ice drink. The
Yeah.
Double black.
Yeah, double black, yeah.
It was when it first hit Melbourne. I was 18. I go, yeah, guys. I go, yeah, because I reckon you'd like it, man. It's probably up your alley.
It's got the energy drink in it as well, right?
It's all sugar, man.
Yeah.
Sugar and vodka. That's all it is. I'm like, all right. How much? He goes, nothing. He goes, have the first one, let me know what you think. I'm like, sweet. So I guzzled it. I'm like, yeah, mad. At that point, man, I'd go, because I'd blow like my Senate, like half my youth allowance and a week's pay, because I was only a student and I was working like $100 a week, man, like nothing. Every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we'd go out and have a big one. Yeah, so you save your coins for like a week, 2 weeks, and then you have a big Saturday night. I would go to the bartender and just be buying drinks like non-stop. I'm talking like just free-flowing. I'd never not had a drink. But I'm talking like I'd buy a chaser and like 2 shots every time. And I'm talking like snake bite shots, man. Truce was just like old hat. Like, bring it. Bring it. I remember a mate of mine, like this kid I went to school with, whatever, was there one night, like in this club, and I'm going, let's go to the bar. Bartender spotted him. He's like, hey, how you doing? And I've just downed this drink, and he's like, I'll tell you what. He goes, if you can down this shot that I'm going to make up for you, I'll give you like a chaser and a shot after that, like you for free, because you can have your next 2 chasers for free. I'm like, yeah, right. So he pours it up. I'm like, what is it? You could just smell it. You go, what is it?
Burning the hairs.
It was like a sledgehammer or something. I go, what's in it? He's like, Citrus Tabasco sauce, like just this fucking potent thing, man. I just looked at it, dude. My forefathers were bartenders to the Tsar. Man, I took this drink down, just dropped it. He just looked at me, he goes, "You're fucked. Here you go," and just passed me like 2 Jim Beam and Cokes or whatever.
Here you go, my good man.
Man, my mate was there, and he's like, "I'm going to make a shot." And he goes, "I've got your next one after that." You know, made it up, guzzled it. He's just looking at me. Just his hands was quivering. He's handing me this Jim Beam and Coke. I'm just bang down that as well. He's just staring at me like, "You're fucked, man." Because I danced a lot and I moved around, I was never like that slumpy drunken cunt in the corner just throwing up on himself. I never threw up from alcohol ever until I went to Thailand the first time and I had some bad like shit. It just made me chuck. But man,
A bit of extra something slipped in there.
yeah, dude, for sure. I had my drink spiked how many times in Thailand, man. But man, like the amount of booze that I consumed, man, like liters, man, just finishing bottle, man. Nick and I went to Sydney a couple of years ago. We got there late. We're meeting my mates at the Ivy. I didn't realise it until the next morning when I was trying to make a drink. And I'm like, where the fuck's all my vodka? Like, you drank it. Okay, what are you out of your mind? Like, dude, you drank it. Man, I drank a bottle of Grey Goose in like 45 minutes. Hour and 15 while we're getting ready to go out. Like, I'm just making drinks up and necking them. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a lot of booze, man.
Imagine just piling it all up over the years.
Man, you'd fill my apartment like 80 times over. Like, it'd be stupid.
It's like me with weed and tobacco. If I could pile it all up,
yeah,
dude, it would fill this fucking room.
Yeah, like a Bruce Almighty moment. You know when he starts making the calls, like with the emails. Did you see? Bruce Almighty was like, yeah. And he's like, maybe if it was a filing system.
Yeah.
Like shit. Yeah. Imagine that.
So how do I not have like emphysema or like pleurisy or whatever like in my lungs? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like fucking 20, 30 bongs a day for like 6 years straight. How am I not fucked?
This is the killer part though. You recognise that risk and you recognise the dangers and you're fucking well aware, man. And you're wondering like, how the fuck? I hate the arrogant smokers who think it's all fucking lies. I'll be fine. I used to hear all the time, the oldest woman in the world lived to fucking 110. She was a smoker. I'm like, yeah, that's why. What about the rest of the fucking millions that have died?
I know.
Oh, we don't need that one.
Would you have me the other way?
Hey? Nah, not at all, man.
We've got to take Johnny to Guinness, man. I reckon he'll die.
Oh yeah, you'll die.
What's Guinness?
That Greek club place. I reckon you'll lose your mind.
What the fuck is this so far away?
Did you guys do the Zorba?
No.
That's just a token Greek.
You're a legit dickhead. Did you guys do the Zorba?
Sorry.
That's a token Greek.
I did the Zorba once at some like wedding reception thing.
Hang on, is that door shut? Yeah. Fuck, is it so loud?
It's because we're smashed.
Yeah, I know, everything seems smashed. Man, this mic stand
You have no idea what I went through. Right? You thought...
Where did you go?
Hang on a second. All right, you thought the cunts at DJ City were like out of touch, right? You know how I was talking that guy up, right? Like that superstar guy?
Yeah.
Like the Mad Dog, yeah? I was talking him up because I only realised just how much you appreciate good customer service. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because that guy's a genius. Like, every time I go in, don't even have to say anything, man. He already knows what I want. He's got, like, finds the product, picks the best one, picks an even better one, cheaper, mad.
Does the price for you.
Man, I'm telling you,
This
right?
is your boy in Oakley, right?
Yeah, this is why I appreciate people like that, and I want to keep going back there. And I was so pissed off that we had to resort to going to the joint today because, what did I say in the message? DJ City's like God. They don't work on Sundays. Yeah, right.
I'm at church.
I swear to God, man. I walked into this joint on Princess Highway because I just jerried like, oh yeah, there's a joint just there. And you got J Car.
Yeah,
and then
okay.
Opposite from J Car, you got another joint, right? And they're like. It's sort of like a Tandy. It's like what Tandy used to be.
Yeah, Tandy.
Tandy. Dude, I forgot all about Tandy.
They got bought out. I remember when Dick Smith... Why is this wobbling?
Our table's like fucking...
Yeah,
Is it on the carpet?
I think it's on half and half. Yeah. Oh, because I dragged it before, that's why.
Oh, good.
No, it's fine.
Typical dim move.
Oh, sorry, I had to set up on myself as quickly as I could, Typical dim move.
Johnny strolls in like a king, put his bags down, rubs his hands together. All right, boy, let's get this done.
My mic's ready. Where am I? I'm fine. Hang on, man. I'm dying at thirst, right?
Maximus, man.
Man,
How's your blue Maximus taste?
The best thing ever, man. Fucking Con stole my one the other day, huh?
Yeah, and he left. He took the Maximus and left. Where did he go?
I woke up on Saturday morning, man. All I could hear was like vacuuming. And like the apartment was just totaled, like just shit everywhere. And all I could think about was, where's my Maximus?
And the blue one, though.
I go, where's my Maximus? And then it was either you or Stelio. They're like, oh, here's one. I go, no, that's red. Where's blue? Oh, Con took it. Fucking hell.
Of course he did.
You know when you're working up dehydrated and all you want is
we know that Dim is the blue Maximus.
Yeah,
one. Like, everyone knows that. That's why I'm either green or red. Right?
So you were like a blue Powerade guy as well? Same
Powerade, bloody oath. Blue Bolt.
Yeah, I always get blue as well, actually.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Blue, winners. It's the way it is.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Dude,
that was green.
I went into this shop, man, and I'm already feeling like I got out of the house and I was freezing. You know, like the
junkie shakes.
I put on my sunnies and like look at this hoodie, man. It's like thick as. I wore this in Amsterdam, like underneath my coat. This is like the best hoodie ever.
Underneath the coat.
I was in the car and I turned the heater on full bore, man, like 28 degrees, just like shaking. I felt like, you know what it reminded me of? Because I put on the sunnies as well because I was like dying when I hit the street. You know in Starsky and Hutch when he goes on that ching bender?
Yeah.
He doesn't know it's coke.
And he's losing
and then
his
he's
mind.
got that big woolly parka and he's like wrapping himself. I swear that's how I felt, man.
Hey, that's an underrated movie, man.
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
It's actually a really, really good movie. I've been wearing this chain for 2 days, by the way. I don't even wear it. Yeah, man, I got to this shop. I've walked in, and man, the first thing that, like, you know when everything irritates you when you're, like, just out of it?
The light, the noise, everything.
Man, the first thing that irritated me was there was baskets at the front of, like, the shop.
Oh, like shopping baskets?
Yeah, how often would you go to J-Car and actually get, like, a basket like you would at Coles?
That's just...
Like, how many things could you possibly buy?
I'm going to go do my shopping in J-Car.
You know what I mean? Like, how much shit could you possibly buy?
If you go in there, you're going to get, like, a cord for something, or you're going to pick up
man, it's just
a battery, one battery, or...
And it just irritated me. I'm like, are these cunts joking? Like, nah, no, you know.
From Dave Bob, man, just walks in like,
I called them before I went because I wanted to make sure they'd have what we'd need.
Yeah.
And the kid on the phone, like, had no idea.
Sunday
I'm
stuff.
like, do you have... I wanted a mic. I go, do you have a mic? Like, this kind of mic. I looked at it on the catalogue online and it was like $55. I'm like, okay. That's what I'm thinking. So I called them up just to see if they got it in stock so we don't cop last time. Dude, the kid was like, the cheapest one I have is like $90. I'm like,
what are you, nuts?
Yeah. I'm like, what are you... I could just hear him. Like, he didn't know what he was talking about, so I just said, all right, fuck it, I'm going in. Dude, I got there. As soon as I saw him, I just understood. He looked like... I don't mean to pay out him because he was being really patient with me, considering I was being really short, because I knew I could feel myself just... You know?
Yeah.
Man, I saw him and my, like, heart just sank. I'm like, oh, fuck, like, I'm going to destroy this kid. Like, even without wanting to.
Innocent. Like,
he's done nothing wrong.
First day on the job.
He's done nothing wrong, but it's time. It's his time to learn.
Some psycho just walked in.
What a fucking customer is on a bad day, right? He looked, man, I swear to God, he looked like, you know that, the Road Trip movie? You know the Genius, the weed smoker genius?
Oh, yes.
He looked like him, But
Like me, the weed smoking genius.
yeah, yeah. But that guy's got like a Jufro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like him mixed with like Screech. So like just skinny, fro. Like he had emo glasses. He had like a little like tie, like a little pencil tie. Like just.
Yeah.
He looked like he was 16, man, and they just threw him in the job, like on the Sunday, do the Sunday Arvo shift, right?
Skeleton stuff.
And I've walked in with my sunnies on, hoodie up, like just barreled up, like, yeah, man, I had a mic stand. And I just started cracking it. Dude, they had these little mic stands that were like tripods. They were as big as like that can of Jack, man. Like, that's how big they were.
That's ridiculous.
Like, no head on it, nothing. Like, just that. I'm like, how am I meant to get a mic on this, man? Like, there was a mic on it. I go, what am I meant to do with this? I go, am I meant to place it on a shelf at eye level? Like, for it to be, you know what I mean? And he's just looking at me. He's like, okay, can I put like a gooseneck, can I put a gooseneck attachment to that? Or like, what can I do? He's like, oh, nah, you can't. I'm like, then what am I meant to do with it? Well, I suppose if you got it on a desk, it's okay. I go, I am at a desk.
Still, what, you're going to be talking?
Okay, what am I going to do? Slouch into my chair? Like, I literally slouch. Okay, am I meant to slouch so my jaw hits the table?
Sit on a milk crate.
Yeah. So this thing is actually sitting, like, towards my mouth. Okay, what purpose does this serve? How much is it? It was like $70.
What?
I'm like, do you have anything that can adjust? Like, you know, what are you meant to do? He's like, I'm not really sure. I'm like, oh. So then I find, like, a stand, right? I'm like, all right, how about this one? Can I attach a gooseneck to this? Oh, don't know. I'm like, okay. I start going through, like, all the attachments. Like, I'm doing the job, man. He's gone back to the desk, looking through, like, the catalogue.
Oh, God,
like, he's pulled the catalogue out. The other guy that's standing there, man, just... Fuck my life, man. You know what he looked like? He'd look like, from Duckman, the son. He's his son.
Dad.
Yeah, Dad. That's what he looked like. It was like, so picture, like...
That is the weird... I'm getting a picture right
Screech,
now.
like a tiny miniature 16...
Duckman's son.
And Duckman's son. And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, guys, I go, I need to get a mic onto this with that. How can you sell, like, 50 products, none of them are compatible, and none of them are useful on their own? Like, they all need some sort of attachment or device, like, to join them, right? How can you sell all these products when none of them actually link up, but none of them are useful? Dad. Like, I swear, that's what it was, man. I'm just like...
You feel a building.
While I'm standing there, this family walks in. They look like they walked out of the Big Four caravan park on Princess Highway.
Springbow Road, across the road.
Yeah, they look like just, man, hillbillies, like hard. What are you coming in here for, man?
They've gone on holiday.
Like a GPS radar. Yeah, like...
Maybe they're starting a podcast. Trailer Park Tales.
Hey, that's mad.
I'm not even kidding.
Yes.
Trailer Park Tales?
Yeah,
Trailer
man.
Park Tales.
Yeah. Bloody oath.
Tales of the unknown. Man, I'm knocking on random caravans. Can we interview you? Fuck off.
Dude, I'm telling you. And like, it's not like you're at a shopping centre where you could just, you window browse, you're looking for a TV. This is a standalone, like, industrial-looking warehouse on Princess Highway. So it's not like, you know what I mean? Like,
Sunday.
it's not walk-in traffic place.
Yeah.
And just like, they turned to them and started dealing with them. And I'm like, man, I need to get out of here. Because I've got, like, man, I drove to pick that mic up purely because I couldn't be bothered dealing with them trying to sell me one. Because I've asked for one that they're advertising online and the kid didn't even know what I was talking about. I'm just like, nah.
They probably weren't expecting any customers.
Nah.
So he's probably just like,
I'm telling you. And I was just like...
Was your jugular pulsating with anger?
The vein, man. I could feel the vein creeping up.
He had the David Parkin vein. He had the David Parkin vein.
Chewing his gum ferociously.
Oh, mate, just...
Veins pulsating in his cranium.
I pulled out onto the... when I pulled out and a message is saying, got it, heading for the mic... My car's dangerous, man. Like, they should not sell these cars to people like me. I was literally, like, all I could see was GTA, like, in the back of my head. After the weekend as well.
Yeah.
Man, the Bucks was, on City Road, the hotel, and that's all, like, South Melbourne industrial. Mm-hmm. Man. Like, you know the industrial levels in GTA where it's all just, like, dark, wide streets, narrow,
there's like one
yes.
light.
I used to spend a lot of time down there just murdering people.
Dude, man.
Yeah, you used to go there, pick up hookers and
I got
murder
amped
people.
up.
Yeah, root the hooker, murderer.
I was like on edge.
Yeah, that's it.
I was on edge all Friday, man. Like, just trying to get shit ready. I got in my car. You just see that needle. Today, man, I drifted onto Princess Highway. I was losing it, just thumping it past cars. Like, get out of my way. I couldn't handle it. But then you know what happened, man? Like suddenly the fact that I feel sick because all I've drank, I swear to God, this is the most non-alcoholic liquid I've had in 48 hours.
Nice. Yeah.
Other than a cup of coffee that I made this morning with my breakfast because I needed to spark up, and then all the caffeine and sugar hit me, and I just started getting the shakes. Like, this is ridiculous, bro.
Junkie.
Dude, you know what's fucked? No. I'll tell you why, alright? Because remember you asked me the other day what Chopped and Screwed was? Yeah, the style of music. It was like ages ago. I said, we need to have a codeine party to Chopped and Screwed. And you said, oh, what's that? And I was trying to find a Chopped and Screwed version of Grills by Nelly. Remember you said you liked that track?
I remember now. Yeah.
Man, I'm in this state of like I swear, I'm driving, the heat is full ball, I'm freezing, my windows are dark, I can't see I'm looking in the rearview mirror and I've got like these breakouts from all the booze, and I'm trying to like rub it, I can't see, because I've got the sunnies on, so I've turned the light on in the center console, but it's the middle of the day, like what am I doing?
Any kind of help?
You are officially a junkie.
I'm telling you, I was so scattered, and then I hit, Heatherton Road, like the back end of like Dingley, where all the farms are.
Yeah.
I was in traffic, and I'm just sitting there, like, crawling along, and I just started slumping. And then I looked out the window and just saw all the farms, and I just went, where the fuck am I? Like, am I lost? I've done this road a million times. Dude, and then this started up.
Were you at Tootle Road or whatever, down that way?
Yeah, like that, around that end, towards, like, Warrigal Road.
Yeah.
And then this fired up, and I started tripping balls. Like, I swear to God, like I was still gone. Man, listen to this
play now so I can trip balls.
Dude, this is fucked. This is what fired up.
Got it, yeah, nigga. And we got our swagger.
This is Chopped and Screwed, yeah?
Mr. EJCU. Bandana tie, making moves.
Johnny's like, what the fuck?
Three.
Look at his face.
I'm zoning out.
Dude, wait for it.
And if not, an MC Quay.
Oh.
What's up, you and I?
Perfect junkie music.
Man, I'm sitting there just like
ready to drift off into Neverland.
So I'm hearing this, and I'm just like looking out the window at the farms.
Everything's slow.
And I'm just like, fuck am I, man? What the fuck happened this weekend? I'm dying, man. I'm seriously dying.
It was something went wrong.
A little bit of drinking, it's not that hardcore.
Dude, I barely drank because I was running the show, basically.
Come to a Bobby Bender, good luck.
Bobby, you would have been hanging off the balcony, son. I'm telling you, this weekend.
A Bobby Bender.
You guys can handle the Bobby Bender.
Bullshit.
No chance.
Nah, do you know what it is, man? It's because I worked like the 8 days straight, plus a couple of the evenings because I was editing this one late. And then
your body's just ready to sleep, and then
I didn't relax.
Yeah.
And then man, on the Friday, I was up at 4:30, like 4:45 to go to work. Worked the 6 hours, and then just basically started setting up this guy's bucks. Like that was it. Let's do it. And before you know it, there are 20 guys in an apartment. Like the topless waitresses are. I'm running up and down 31 flights, man. Like every time someone had to come up, I was going 31 floors up and down, up and down.
No shit.
Yeah. Answering phone calls like, where is it?
Dimmy.
We're running out of booze. I'm like, what the fuck? I had no idea what was going on.
Dimmy, the wedding planner. I wish I could have come.
Yeah, nah, it's a shame. You call me soft. Actually,
Dad life.
Dad life. And you're talking about the Bobby Bender. That just makes it more scary.
I can still pull out a Bobby Bender now and then.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I reckon it'd be pretty bad, man. Like, just that one night out, he gets, he just absolutely loses his mind.
Yeah. I've got to make sure I've got the next couple of days free, and
you need like a week to recover.
Oh,
man.
bad, yeah.
It's not like you used to just get an hour's sleep.
Look, I'm not going to work tomorrow.
This is serious?
Yeah, man.
Man, your call before, mate, your text. I was in here. No, I was actually pulling up in my car, man. I was getting ready to do work, and what did you say? You said, "Hang on."
I told the truth.
Your line.
I don't remember what I said, but it was the truth.
Your line killed me. It was softest pink marshmallows. That man, I was just walking in here and I was like, I'm gonna kill him. The guy that didn't come along for the ride is calling me soft.
When I wrote that, I pictured your face just like, fuck you, Johnny, fuck you.
I just remembered you being sick the other day, where you're like, I think I've got the flu, and I'm at home, like, and I just, stop it up, man. And then the guy that doesn't make the buck strip is like, soft as pink marshmallows.
Pink marshmallows.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
As pink marshmallows, like they're tougher than us.
I pictured pink marshmallows.
Yeah, you too.
Just like, oh,
tell you what, smash a couple of marshmallows with hot chocolate, man.
Marshmallows are underrated,
man. Seriously, like that's has to be Pascal's though.
Hey,
can't be that shitty brand stuff.
You're both going to hate on me real bad, but I need to piss again. So
are you joking? We just sat down.
I know.
I think that's a new record, man. That's like 5 minutes.
My blood is shrinking.
Old man.
Old man Rivers over here. Old man Bobby. Yeah.
All right, fine.
Actually, I think we need to actually get some sort of catheter device for this podcast.
What, rigged up in here?
No, you need
just like a large tube into a bucket, basically. Extra large tube.
We'll make our own, man. We'll get those those water buckets, those big ones they sell at the supermarket. Yeah. The dispensers.
How do we
make sure the pipe's 6 inches thick at least?
Dude,
right?
Is that all?
Is that all?
Do you guys want to keep talking while I go piss?
No, relax, man. What was I going to say? We've been sat down for 5 minutes. We're talking about catheters again. We're fucking idiots. Anyway, sort that out, man. With blacknight satellite.
Yeah, it's a. They say it's some kind of conspiracy thing. They reckon the satellite's been around for thousands of years. Like how?
What do you mean black night?
That's what they've called it. That's what they've called it.
Yeah, night as in KNIGHT.
Yeah.
Well, like in ancient Egypt and shit, they have like little carvings of airplanes and shit, which is like what the?
What's it say?
Blacknight satellite is claimed by some conspiracy theorists, Bobby, to be an object approximately 13,000 years old, of extraterrestrial origin, orbiting Earth. Check it out.
I will get on that.
Get on it, man. I reckon you'd be all over it.
Hang on, wait.
I'll dive into that.
When you say satellite, right? Because I mean the moon's a satellite. Yeah, because it orbits.
No, it's an actual object. Like it's an actual.
Like an actual.
Yeah, it's an actual object.
Where is this?
That's on Wiki, man. That's not a conspiracy site. That's not actually on Wikipedia.
An object, conspiracy theory myth that combines several unrelated stories. 90 NASA photo believed by some to show the blacknight satellite is thought by experts to be of a thermal blanket lost during an EVA mission.
Johnny will find it. You'll end up like doing research,
dude. I haven't heard of it, but
you know all that hieroglyphic shit in Egypt. You know about the hieroglyphics in where was it? New South Wales? Yeah. Was it New South? Is that where they were? The ones that they found?
I don't know.
You haven't? How could you not have read about it? Man, the other day, I still can't find the one that you told me about, the one with the tracing shit.
No?
No, that's what I was looking for, and I ended up reading about, you just go, start unraveling the mysteries of life. I love how, like, it's 2 a.m., you're in your jocks, and you got your phone out, just YouTubing, and that's where you're going to find the mysteries of the universe.
Yep.
You know what? If it's anyone, it'd be him.
Yeah.
He'd find it. I've got the answer, boys.
I've already found it.
It's funny. What's it called? I was going to say... They found hieroglyphics somewhere in New South, like in a cave.
Like from Aboriginals?
No. Like Egyptian hieroglyphics. And they were saying that Egyptians had made it to here. Yeah.
Oh,
and then
I have seen that.
They got bunked and said, nah, it's fake, la la la. And, and then when I was looking into that, I was reading about, like all all the space machines, the choppers all in the hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
Have you looked into like the debunking of that? Like the theories?
Nope.
There's heaps of them, man. Because they say, there was one where it's like, here's a chopper. Here's what looks like a chopper, but in reality, it's part of an older inscription that had plaster put over it, and then the plaster eventually fell off.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, like all that sort of shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just looked it up now. That's interesting.
Which one?
The one in New South Wales.
Yeah.
How about that?
Like, they were trying to debunk it like 1,000 ways from
saying
Sunday.
ABC, like, experts are saying no, like this and that.
That doesn't look like Aboriginal drawings at all.
No, they said it was fake, as in it'd been done more recently.
I tell you what, though, that's stone, man. You have to be there for a while to be doing that, but...
They basically said that on that type of surface, it only takes a little bit for it to look like it's aged.
Really?
But every theory that comes out, man, there's always like something that's going to try and debunk it.
Scientist, someone's gonna say, "Oh, no."
It's like the moon landing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the moon landing actually happen?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I just think everything's fucking bullshit.
Did you actually
Serious question though. Have we been back since?
The moon?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, they were planning to not long ago. If they always like
That's the weirdest thing about it.
That's the thing. Like, if they've done it when they do it in the 60s, was it?
69 was the first
69.
one, wasn't it? No, not 69.
60-something.
It was. I think it was in
Look it up. How can we not know when the fucking
It was
moon-
in the
I used to know
60s.
that date like off by heart when I was a kid.
But that's what gets me. Why haven't we been back since? As a race, as a human race, if we can do it in the 60s, why can't we do it now?
Yeah.
because we don't care. There's no money in it.
There's a whole conspiracy thing, like it's like a off-limits zone by whoever else is out there.
What do you mean? Actually, I haven't heard that one.
Well, I don't. Yeah, it's
Here we go.
a long time ago that I looked into this, but basically, it's like there is like this intergalactic war going on, and the zone's like a no-go zone.
Well, who's the intergalactic war over? Like, I mean, who's fighting it?
Xenu.
Xenu's fun. That's fun. What's the war?
59.
Really?
The first human-made object to reach the surface of the moon.
Oh, no.
Soviets.
Yeah, the Soviets landed something
But the
on
United
it.
States, Apollo 11, 69.
69.
Yeah.
I was right.
July of 69.
Yeah.
It was the summer of 69.
Yeah, it's bad. Big year.
Massive.
Now, so this galactic war, who's it over?
I don't know, man. I can't remember, but basically they're in contact with the aliens, and it's like this sort of hostile, sort of standoff sort of thing. That
We're in contact with aliens.
yeah, and there's like a hostile standoff that the public doesn't know about. But
Okay.
yeah,
You know what I don't get, man?
What?
Like, you know how we've determined that for any life, like we haven't determined it, but you can presume any life out there would automatically be like billions of years in technology, like advanced in technology, because we don't have the power to get to anywhere else other than within our own galaxy sort of thing. But aliens always seem to make it to ours. So we just assume that they're like, fucking years ahead. But there's a war going on that we're somehow still managing to keep up a resistance. like, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So these super duper fucking aliens from like the other side of the universe, which is infinite. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not finite, man. Like, it just keeps going. These cunts can find a way to get all the way to our window, but we seem to be holding them off at the moon. That doesn't make sense.
Like a massive shield.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That does not make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it.
That's a new one. I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of conspiracies, but that one's fucked.
Yeah,
Johnny's our leader.
Yeah, dude,
I'll teach you the way.
that one doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Are you going to be those people when the aliens come, like John 3:16 sign, and like
It's in Revelations.
welcome,
Yeah.
welcome.
Beam me up.
Yeah, like in Independence Day, you know that group that goes to the top of the building, they get fried?
Johnny's like sitting up there, like John 3:16.
Fucking rainbow wig, like rainbow afro wig.
Wearing a hacky sack, like you're in the sacks.
Yeah.
Potato sack.
That's a new one. Dude, I swear I've never heard that one. Intergalactic
dude.
War.
Yeah.
The common ones, they think that it was a set in Nevada. Yeah. And the whole... I understand why they'd want to try and fake the moon landing, because, I mean, there was the whole Cold War thing, and, America wanted to advance and all that sort of shit. But, like, really? I don't know.
There's another fucking theory. Apparently, there's like this. What do they call it? Like the ionosphere or something. It's like this barrier around Earth that you can't penetrate through, and that's what they're trying to figure out how to get through it. So all the space bullshit that we hear about is fake.
What?
Because it's actually you can't break through this barrier to get into outer space.
What's the barrier?
like a force
Or
field.
like just gas? Like a barrier of gas?
I don't know what it's made of, but it's just like a barrier that they can't penetrate through.
So what, everything that we've ever seen...
Is just orchestrated and just a lie. And they've been trying to work on how to get through this barrier.
That's a big call.
That's
Johnny.
a big fucking call, man.
I'm not saying it's true, but
So it's an invisible barrier, obviously, because we can see stars.
Yeah.
that's movie shit. You know what that's like? That's like the flat Earth society.
Yeah.
You know, cunts that believe that the Earth is flat.
That's where CERN comes back into it. Like, that might be the thing that'll, like...
Back to CERN.
Back to CERN.
They're monitoring, like, this podcast.
Oh, yeah, they've got tabs on Johnny, man.
Can you imagine,
he's talking about us again.
Yeah, there's like...
buzzer goes off.
There's an office with just, like, tax of where he is.
All the conspiracy theorists in the world.
Yeah.
Johnny's one's, like, flickering 24/7.
He's on the money, boys. He's on the money.
He's on it. So what's the CERN tie-in with this barrier?
Because that can pierce through it.
The CERN... Okay, so the CERN thing can pierce through the barrier that keeps us contained.
Yeah.
Wait, in that sense, are all the satellites that we send up into space, they're bullshit?
All bullshit.
What about the Foxtel ones?
Or they can stay within the barrier, but they can't get through it.
But then how...
I love how it's all such... It's what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's like a circumstantial. Everything's circumstantial. So we can see through this barrier. We can send satellites into the barrier, but not past the barrier.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there's no barrier, and that's what they're telling us, that there is a barrier.
Just to keep
us in check.
Yeah.
The man. Just blew your mind, man.
That's the thing that gets me about conspiracy theories, man. So much of it's just circumstantial.
Yeah. Oh, and there's so many.
It's alleged. So like, it's all alleged, but what if it was like, yeah, but it's not? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it could be because of this. It's like, yeah, but dude, that isn't that because of that. It just keeps going round and round in circles.
There's so many, dude, like, so many different angles.
Like, this is the thing, man. We all, I mean, I guess we all came together for the, like, same reason. Like, we have similar interests to the point where, like, we're open-minded to hear, like, another side of the fence, right? Mm-hmm. And we will ask the question of, like, why? Like, why the fuck are we all still starving when, you know, we're throwing fucking millions of shit out, right? But I hate it when conspiracy theorists believe their own bullshit, when they'll just see a fact on the internet and they just believe the hype behind it, and suddenly that fact, like, it becomes a fact.
Yeah.
And they build this massive entity around alleged shit.
Yeah,
I'm happy to, like, watch documentaries and listen to...
I'll watch it.
I love watching them because it's interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, okay, let's see how this cunt's mind works.
Different perspective to what someone else thinks.
But do you know what, man? Like, do you know what the biggest conspiracy theory would bring? Like, having said that, dude, organised religion.
Yeah, man.
They weren't facts. As in, the statements were taken. Do you know what it's like? Right? Like, I was thinking, man, the last podcast, I listened to it, like, ridiculously. Like, more than all the other ones. I literally just back to back. It's the longest one we've done. Yeah. And back to back, I listened to it anytime I was free, not at work, not at sleeping. I was listening to it, right? And we're talking about, like, we touched a bit on religion, not like much, but we're talking about how everything was written past the fact. And it's just all Chinese whispers and jargon and manipulator, right? Dude, that would be like, honestly, like, if you want to make it comparative, like, into today's society, right? Like, as in how you could compare that, man, it'd honestly be like, you know, us three right now getting into a fight. Forget the mics. Mics aren't here. We get into a fight, and we all die, right? And coppers find us, like, you know, 4 or 5 days later. Like, what the fuck happened here? Like, okay. And then someone that knew one of these cops heard, like, the story, right? And then waited, like, 200 years. Like, as in, it kept getting regurgitated for 200 years, and then finally someone put pen to paper, and wrote it down. And said, okay, this is what happened 200 years ago, and this is how I saw it. No, you didn't. Your uncle's great aunt, mistress's wife's boyfriend's fucking landlord, gardener, plumber who fucked someone that heard something. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't fucking get that. Like, and that's when the fact, which is already just, like, yeah, it's hearsay. Yeah.
Like,
is it a fact?
Very loosely.
Yeah.
We say that word very loosely.
And then, like, man, I got into an argument with this. It's stupid. It's when I landed in Greece the last time I went. Yeah, I was fucking exhausted. I was at the train station waiting to go into Athens from the airport, and there were these two black girls from the States, and they were trying to get into, like, the central things. Like, oh, can you help us? So I was, like, reading the map because it's all in Greek. I'm like, yeah, blah blah blah. And I don't know how it got to religion, man, but she started talking about faith. And I just said to her, she goes, are you religious? Like, if you're Greek, you must be Greek author. I'm like, well, no, I'm not religious. Like, why, you know? and she starts saying something about faith, right? And I go, listen, you're free to believe whatever you want to believe, right? But you need to understand something. I go, the concept of faith is like a man-made thing, right? Where faith acts on the belief that something exists when you can't prove it, right? Okay, I have to respect the fact that you want to believe that, right? But then, in turn, you need to respect the fact that I find it completely illogical. Mm-hmm. Because faith is illogical. Because you're putting belief in something that you don't know exists, but you just believe that it is. That in itself is illogical. So you can understand why I would even question it and not just follow blindly. She lost it. She lost her fucking shit at me, man.
At the train station.
Dude. And I was talking the way I'm talking now, man. Like, I was just being completely, like, calm. Like, I wasn't attacking her. I said to her, do what you got to do.
Just saying your point of view.
Yeah. And she fucking flipped it. Her mate, when she started talking about religion, like, her mate sort of cringed because she didn't know how I was going to take it. And then I said what I said, and her mate was like, oh, fuck.
He didn't.
Yeah, sort of like, not because...
No, you didn't.
Not because I was testing, like, her friend, like, not because, this cunt. It was more like, okay, this guy's clearly, like, he's got some form of logical, like, thought process, and he's going to put her through the ringer on this, and she knows what's coming. She's probably heard it
if she's lost it like that, that means you had a point.
It was almost like, man, I was just, like, backing away, like, okay, dude, man, I just put my headphones back in and walked away. Yeah. It was almost like she was on the train, like, screaming and, like, pointing at me.
All you tried to do was show him something on the map.
Dude!
Like, it wasn't even a...
I just suggested that she should understand why people would see faith as an illogical thing, because the act itself is an illogical process.
She's probably still losing it now.
Dude, I'm telling you. And that's what riles me up, when essentially people will coast through religion. They'll be spectators, right? And then they're fashionably religious, like around the monumental dates, whether it's Ramadan or whether it's Easter,
Christmas, all that
or
kind of
fucking
stuff.
Hanukkah or whatever, all that shit. They become fashionably religious, and like they wear their religion on their fucking chest, like, like a badge of honor. It's like, dude, relax, man. How many organized religions in the world? Like, chill.
Yeah.
But then they'll just coast through all that shit. And then, like, if you dare not even question it, but just bring them up as to why someone else might not question it, it's like, man, everyone becomes a fundamentalist all of a sudden, man.
Yeah.
How dare you? Like, how dare I? It's my fucking right. Everyone becomes fundamentalist, man. And then there's the outrage now, because, for Islam or whatever, it's like, dude, if anyone ever questions, not even questions your religion, but just tries to question your faith, and not even questioning faith, just trying to get you to acknowledge that
this is my point of view.
A lapse in faith could be understandable.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, that's just nuts to them.
Sinner.
Yeah. It's absolutely like, oh my God, how can you even question? I've got a fucking brain, bro. Like,
see, I believe in the ways of Fun Bobby.
Yeah, boy.
Fun Bobby. Jeez. Man,
so you should start a church, man.
The
Bobby's
Church of
House
Bob.
Of Fun.
The Church of Bob.
Yeah, the Church of Bob.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Man.
I feel another piss coming on. Fuck.
Oh my God, man.
Man,
I've
really?
had like 4 bourbons.
Dude, we are 33 minutes in. This is your worst showing. I get it's cold today, but like...
Mate, when you run this church, you can't be like this. And you know what? You know what your choir's going to be called? The Maximilians. Yeah, man.
Dude, that's the followers.
Yeah, the Maximilians.
The followers, like Lutherans and like all that sort of shit.
The Maximilians.
The Maximilians, man. In the House of Maximus.
Yeah. Sponsored by
Your church will have
giving out Maximus bottles
corporate sponsorship by the Maximus company, man.
Gather around, my children.
The Maximilian Brethren. All right.
Go living on up.
But if you have it, you'll have like a hoodie and a hat as well.
Yeah, with a Jack Daniels can.
And you just look like you can't be fucked. You'll be looking through sportsbet on his phone.
Anyone got a good tip for this afternoon?
And it just feel like a podcast. You just sit there like, I don't know.
So anyone got a question? Like the Maximilians.
I love how this came from me needing to take a piss. That's hilarious.
It's the truth.
Ain't nothing but the truth, baby.
Yeah, man.
Alright, I'm going to piss.
Alright, go.
Keep going.
Because wait.
Alright, here we go. Go.
I'm going to piss now because I can just feel it. So if I piss now, I should be right for the next 2 hours, right?
Well,
do you know how disgusting it is that we spend at least 10 minutes every podcast discussing your urinal schedule?
Oh, we really do, don't we?
I swear to God, it's filthy.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
No, like, I'm serious. I'm not bothered by the amount of swearing that we drop on this, but every time
It's the urine.
every time I have to edit it, and I'm like, how the fuck are we talking about catheters again? Like, seriously, man. Seriously. Like as a patient in a hospital.
It's because I'm hard and I drink alcohol.
No, it's like,
Unlike you boys.
no, it's like every podcast we just rip him out of hospital, just having and then take him back.
The man's sick, and they've asked us to monitor his shit. You know, bowel movement 11 p.m. All right, sweet.
You got to get him back here by 10:55. You know.
What? Bobby Preacher.
Man, with the Maximilians. And then
Bobby
you'll start a band.
Preacher.
Bobby Preacher and the Maximilians.
Done.
Dude, Bobby Preacher's such a cool name, man.
Dude. Bobby
That honestly, I want to use that name in a hotel. That is the
Bobby
best.
Preacher.
But you know what that said? That
Man,
name.
I'm coming up with some good ones today.
Dude, you know what that name says to me? That name speaks scandal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, as it, like
Bobby Preacher in a prostitute scandal.
dude, like the Jimmy Swaggart videos, yeah. I have seen that video, but Bobby Preacher.
Dude.
That is the best. That is the best call.
Man, I should get smashed more often. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, man. Bobby Preacher.
That's me.
Dude, religion, man. It's the easiest business. It's the easiest business.
When I was taking a piss just then, like,
Oh, here comes the epiphany. This is like this is like the Joseph.
Get a light bulb moment.
Who was the king of the Mormons? Smith.
yeah,
Joseph Smith. He had his epiphany when he was out in the woods that no one ever saw.
nothing like that. I was pretty lame. I was,
Have you? Hang on. Sorry to cut you off. Have you actually read into the Mormonism, like that, what they believe?
yeah, the guy found like a bunch of tablets.
Yeah, and then came up with some rules that he somehow got rid of, and then when they didn't like something, he just went back and got more rules.
He's like, nah.
It's like Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard. He's written more fiction books than anyone else ever. L. Ron Hubbard, the leader of the Scientology church.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Really?
He's written like the most fiction out of anyone.
I didn't know that.
And basically, the Scientology is just another fiction story that he wrote, and people just took it as gospel, and that's it.
Smart man. Hey, like, hats off to him.
Well, look how big it is, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. And,
You got actors paying money to get into a church.
like millions of dollars.
Dude, Scientology's fucked.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard about how it operates? They'll take over your life, man. Like bank accounts.
Yeah. They control. It's control.
I worked with a guy who like had a brother-in-law or something that was affiliated with him like through marriage, and when he split up with his missus, he goes, man, it was almost impossible to get rid of him. Like they were just tied into every little element of his life, man. He couldn't shake him. Just kept taking money. That's fucked.
And
So I cut you off, and I was just going to ask you about Joseph Smith, if you like that whole tablet thing, because that makes me laugh. That's like you cunts are fucked.
Yeah.
Like if it's that baseless, we could start it right now.
I was just going to say, I could definitely start my own religion if it's that easy. Fuck.
Bobby Preacher. Man.
Bobby Preacher done.
Bobby Preacher and your followers are the Maximilians.
Yeah.
Come, my children.
No, man. It's that fucking baseless. Like, forget Taoism, where, like, you know, you got thousands of years of, like, mysticism and fucking, like, you know, like, quotes and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, if you read into, like, Buddha, like, you read into any of that sort of shit, there's a lot of, like, positive reading. Yeah. So, positive shit.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah. But, man, like, do you know what I don't get about Scientology, man? How they're like, we're not a religion, and it's like the Church of Scientology, and then, like, the cross, like, their emblem is a Spanish cross.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a crucifix. It's the biggest religious, like, icon in the world.
Yeah.
But we're not a church.
We're not a church. We're not a religion. We're just a form of psychology or whatever the fuck it is. Like, you cunts are fucked, man. It's battered.
And you go to the very top of that pyramid and you just wonder what's going on, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, there'd be all sorts
who's
of
like really in control of that shit?
Yeah.
What's their motive?
We went to the Church
We
of
went there
Scientology.
in
We went in LA.
Oh, did you?
We were
man.
driving along and I just saw the building.
You're like, look!
Oh my god! Stop the car!
Literally, we stopped. We went to the car park.
Yeah, and I go, you coming in? This guy's, nah, man, I'm having a smoke.
And I was just eyeing them off. They're walking up and down the stairs with their books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at it, and they're looking at me. I'm wearing a singlet, got tats everywhere. And they're looking at me, they're looking away quickly, like, I can't look at him. Like, I'm like, man, that's some creepy shit, man.
We went in.
This guy drilled them.
do you know what it looked like inside? Because I swear to God, this is what it felt like I was at. You know when you go to like Science Works? And they've got all those like moving like discs and you hit the buttons and like a little screen. Oh, and to the left. Man, they were presenting him like he was Jesus. Like, literally, like, you know what it was like? It was like seeing, like, a propaganda reel for, like, Kim Jong-il.
Yeah.
You know, like how he hit his first round of golf, he hit 18 holes in ones.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Yeah, unbelievable
man,
feats.
Yeah.
You know?
You break the man down, it's like he was an author who started a religion.
Yeah.
He was an author of science fiction that started a religion that seemed like science fiction.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they're turning him into, like, this fucking amazing dude. And, like, he could... like, and the thing is, even just him being an author, like a writer and all that shit, like, that's enough. Like, cool, man.
I just saw his net worth was $600 million.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a Scientology church in Campbell as well, where I used to...
Yeah, there's one in...
right around the corner from where I used to work at JB Hi-Fi, just off Burke Road.
Yeah.
I used to pass it every day.
Kate Sobrano is all up in there.
Is she?
She's a pathologist.
She used to live across the road from...
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, I knew that fact.
Yeah. And we used to see her all the time. She'd say hello, but she was very to herself. Kind of thing.
Do you know the deep meaning behind Scientology? Like,
I looked into it when it was really,
it's
really
this crazy
big.
thing about aliens, man, dropping souls.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're talking about the actual story.
Yeah,
man, Xenu.
Xenu and stuff.
Xenu,
man.
Xenu.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There was an overpopulated planet, like, fucking yonks away. And so this evil warlord, like, gathered up all the criminals, dumped them in a volcano, and then they died, start to escape. So he created, like, soul catchers and then released them, and they represent all the negative emotions that we have.
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
People buy into that shit. That's like the craziest conspiracy ever.
Have you seen the, do you remember the Tom video? Tom Cruise did that promo video for Scientology.
No, I would have seen it, but...
It came out at, like, the peak of, like, that sort of whole thing, like, with the Katie Holmes thing and him jumping on the couch and all that sort of shit. It was, like, around that era. Man, we'll tee it up. It's fucking hilarious. They've got the Mission Impossible theme song in the background. the Limp Bizkit version. Dun, 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 dun. He's giving this crazy fucking rant about... He's talking about how when you drive by an accident, you know you're the only one that can help. No one else, like, gets it. It's like you've just got to take yourself and put yourself in that. He's just like almost like every Scientologist is like a walking Power Ranger, man.
Yeah.
He's talking in that sense. I swear to God. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man?
So doctors, surgeons, paramedics.
Nah,
they're all Scientologists.
No, they're fucked. But you know what? Dude, and that bothers me the most, man, because it's like, okay, whose death has gotten the most press coverage ever? Like like say in our generation that we can think of, right? In Western society, right? Like forget like when an Ayatollah died or something, you know, and or when the Saudi dude Arafat, you know, like when they had
all those kind of
forget that shit, right? Western civilization, whose death in our generation has gotten the most press coverage ever?
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I was going to say MJ.
MJ?
I'd say just about like rough, like up in our
MJ,
kind of thing.
yeah.
I'd say probably MJ.
Go before that?
I'd probably say President Kennedy.
Nah, no way.
No?
No. Princess Di.
Oh, that's... Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That was
Forgot about
conspiracy
her.
behind that. You'd be on that conspiracy.
Oh, yeah, what was the conspiracy behind that? I don't remember it.
They killed her. They're all family.
Killed her because she was messing with the dude was like Iranian or whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't want.
Yeah, it was Arab.
They didn't want the mixture in the blood or whatever,
Yeah.
so they killed her.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, they reckon Charles and Camilla had something to do, as in like allegedly.
There was so much
Getting
dodgy
sued for nothing.
shit. There was so much dodgy shit with that.
Do you remember
whole
the
thing.
press
As soon as she
coverage?
died, he got with Camilla.
Yeah.
Do you remember the press coverage of that fucking funeral?
It's huge.
I remember it because we used to watch TV. Because that was 97.
Yeah.
So we were still kids. Like
Mom started
11.
crying.
Yeah, it was like I was 11 years old or whatever. Yeah. And I remember the press because like every channel except for like Channel 2 didn't have or SBS, one of those two didn't have
They had four corners on.
Every channel on network television, in Australia had the Princess Di funeral.
Yeah, that's true. And the whole world would have
Like
had it.
8
The whole
hours.
world. Yeah.
What the fuck,
Like
man?
full special coverage, and then when they had Harry and Will walking down,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, now we've got Harry and Will walking down," and
It was
they were
massive.
laughing. Dude, Charles was laughing.
Was he?
Dude, I'll show you a clip. He had a smirk on his face. They actually caught him and the whole thing came out. I was like, "Why is he laughing?" Like his wife just died. Like, all right, separated, whatever. But
Yeah, mother of his kids.
yeah,
I didn't know.
he
that.
had a smirk. I'll try and find it. He was like had a smirk
Find
on his
it.
face. Yeah.
But you know what pisses me off, mate? Because I remember that was 97, yeah? So we're old enough to know what's sort of going on. We're starting to get awareness of
Yeah.
everything. Do you know what pissed me off the most, man? Do you know who else died that week, like within 7 days of her dying? Mother Teresa.
Did she get the press coverage?
Man, I remember because I read about it in the paper, right? And I remember my mum was like shattered because she was like, Mother Teresa was a saint, like a genuine saint. She lived in the slums of Calcutta, helping sick and needy people. I remember on TV they had like a 40-second excerpt of like, and also in other news, Mother Teresa passed away, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And they just showed like slums in India, old like women crying, like all that sort of shit. And it literally lasted for like 40 seconds, man.
What did Princess Diana do, dude?
She had money. And she flew the world.
She just sat there with a stupid grin on her face all the time.
Yeah, banging guys.
Yeah, banging guys. I remember my mum was all shattered about it. Like, she had a tear in her eye, and she was so beautiful. I'm like, why? Who is she?
Who is she? It's a sad thing that this woman's died in a horrific,
that sucks, but
horrific car accident, has left 2 kids behind. Fair enough.
But that happens every day.
Yeah, man. That's my point.
And who's she? What did she do? Like, really?
Man, I've put up that argument, and people used to cast me down like I was talking like absolute I wipe my ass with the Bible, man.
Yeah. Her brother was a cokehead.
Yeah. People are so programmed, man. Like they just
I didn't understand. Man, I was like 11, 12, and I was asking that question. Like, why the fuck are we losing? I go, how can Mother Teresa get a little print in the paper? I remember looking in the paper for just news on the thing. Nothing, man. Nothing. Like I'm talking like a paragraph. Yeah. A paragraph of words talking about Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
Princess Di, man, they're still talking about her fucking funeral.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous, dude.
What the fuck did she do?
I don't remember like a speech she did that was like good or. I just remember standing there.
She died like that week, like same week.
Yeah,
like 6 days later.
6 days later. Kind of thing. It was in the same fucking breath. It was in the same breath because I remember hearing about it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean?
That's insane, man.
Yeah, man. And, like, to be fair, what did Princess Di do? Did she get a job after she divorced Charles? I'm asking, like, I'm being dead set serious. Other than being an ambassador of goodwill, like United Nations, UNICEF, like whatever, Red Cross, pick any of the charities that you want.
She jumped on some Arab dick and flipped.
Yeah.
Dude, other than being an ambassador for all that sort of shit, which is more or less all she can ever do because she's a face, like a well-recognised face, after she stopped being the Princess Di, she's essentially just, another woman. So, what is she doing? She's flying from hotel to hotel, shaking hands with, invalids and kids and lepers and shit.
Mother Teresa lived that.
She lived in the fucking slums,
She
man.
was there from 1948.
Yeah.
She was there in
the shit.
And never made money off it, never got exposure, never got TV coverage, nothing. Genuine
fucking saint.
Yeah.
It says it all, man.
That's fucked.
It says it all.
That is so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's just wrong, man. And that man, to be like 11, 12 and see that and then just start to question everything. Like, imagine where my brain was at. And that's why, like, I'm this fucking angry now, man, because I still see this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, are you fucking cunt serious?
Yeah.
But nah, man, like, just, what's next on the Kardashians,
Yeah, no shit.
No shit. Man, fucking, like, the overexposure of all this bull... Everywhere you turn, man, it's gotten to a point where it's that fucking ridiculous, like, at the advertising level, like, around everything. Like, YouTube, man. I was watching, I was trying to recover this morning, right? I was lying on my couch watching... there's this YouTube dude. It's a team, obviously, because, like, all the presenters have got either American accents or English accents. And, something culture, like, somethingculture.com, I can't remember what it is. And it was all stuff like 10 things that the WWE want you to forget about Sting, 10 things that they want you to forget about The Rock. Like, just random facts from their careers, like, just random shit. And I was just on a WWE kick for some reason, right? Man, these clips were going for, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. Every time one would finish, an ad would fire up.
Yeah.
Last night, man, we're trying to listen to Greek music, like random Greek songs from random Greek artists. Just ads. You'd get maybe 2 songs in, ad.
Yeah. I was trying to show my girlfriend shit on the news channel the other day. Like, she was asking about that chick that got bashed by the cops in Ballarat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so I went to the news website, and you got to watch ads on the news website before you can watch the fucking...
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what is this? This is the news. Like, and we're making us watch a fucking ad about a car or something. It's crazy, man. It's fucking...
Yeah, man. Exactly. Fucking exactly. That's the point, man. Yeah. It's all fucking just warped.
It's fucked up. It's not right.
It's not... Bobby?
So not right.
All right.
It's not right, man.
Bobby Preacher, my man.
Bobby Preacher. Dude, this guy's going to be like, what's that super, Jack Reacher? Yeah. Jack
Tom
Reacher.
Cruise.
Jack Reacher.
Full
Bobby
circle.
Preacher.
Full fucking circle, man.
There you go.
I've been following the American election as well closely.
Oh, have you?
My boy Bernie Sanders.
How's he doing?
The undercard.
Wait, is he struggling?
I put money on him to win the.
You don't look too confident.
No. This is the thing, right? So he's gone out to like $34 now to win it.
Oh, no shit.
Hillary Clinton.
What did he get down to? Remember, like, because you were following
Yeah, it went down to like
18 or something.
$17.
Yeah.
It's not bad, man.
Just jump back out.
Just a cheeky 50, you know.
Jump back out to $34 now for Bernie Sanders.
What did you get him on?
But the thing is that nobody's talking about is Hillary Clinton and that whole debacle with the FBI, like
The
indicting
email
her.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she set up a server at her home.
I don't actually know the facts around that, man. I read it briefly and I just went, well, yeah, whatever.
Well, basically, when she was in charge of whatever, the rules are you can't have an internet, like, you can't...
What do you mean?
She set up a server at her own home and she was, like, using for private emails.
Yeah.
And it was, like, emails from, like, government and shit as well.
She could look into anything she wanted to.
Yeah. And that's just totally not allowed. But no one's talking about it. And she did that. So she's going to, like... She's going to cop it, basically.
Yeah, Bernie needs to use that against her.
But he doesn't say anything about it. And as soon as that happens, he will be the prime candidate, and he will beat Trump.
Yeah, Trump. You know when the shooting when that happened, his popularity went up.
Yeah, you were
But
saying.
now,
Yeah.
it's dipped again. It was like the hysteria.
He said some shit the other day, like something ridiculous. He
Yeah.
came out and said something totally fucked up.
Yeah.
He's basically backflipping on a lot of his policies as well. Like, that's the problem with
I
Trump.
can do this, I can do that.
He'll say one thing, and then someone will challenge him, like, in the crowd, like, right there and then. So he'll flip on it, and then just flip it again, like, the next time he's out.
You know who I'm voting for? Vote 1, Bobby Preacher, man.
Vote 1.
Bobby Preacher.
Man, we've got our own elections coming up.
Oh, yeah.
That's in a week.
Wait, is it next Saturday?
Yeah, dude, this.
I've never voted.
Are you serious?
I've never voted.
Aren't you registered?
Yeah, but I've never voted.
Don't
you get a fine?
Don't you get fines?
First few years, I just said it was against my religion.
What? Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. But now I just cop the fine because I was coming.
What religion, man?
The religion of Bobby Preacher.
You just write, like, God's my only saviour and I don't rely on men to fucking...
You're fucking lying.
I'm not lying, dude. I did that for...
Dude, that's some shit that I would do, man.
I did that for 3 years and it was sweet and now I just can't be fucked, so I just cop the fine.
So who do you write to? Like, how do you get... Like,
it's on the thing. It's on the back of the thing. Like, you can write in and just send it to whatever.
Like, why didn't you vote?
And if you have an eligible excuse, then yeah.
I swear you should... Because.
It's just because.
Just because.
I don't believe in the system.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't believe in the system. I believe in my
system.
God. Yeah.
And that's a valid excuse.
That's a valid excuse.
Done.
I've done it, dude. I promise you. I'm not lying. I wouldn't lie about shit like that.
Whoever we vote for, it's the same shit. We're going to have a new Prime Minister in 8 months.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Like,
who knows? Who the fuck knows?
I'm telling you, whoever comes in power, I couldn't care less.
Hey, you know what, man? That's the other thing I want to bring up about the last podcast. So you were talking about how they all just argue and no one ever comes. It's like...
Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. How can you have completely contrasted fucking opinions on the same fucking issue? It's like, man, there's a good way to do it and there's a bad way to do it. No one's actually doing shit.
They can't meet in the middle. What? Meet in the middle?
There is no middle ground. Yeah. How is that possible, man?
No.
Do me a favour. Find this fact out. How many members of parliament are there right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
In Victorian Parliament? Australian
No,
Parliament?
Australian level government, man. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, that's a ridiculous fact, man. Like, how... Hang on a second. Yeah. How the fuck could you not find a middle ground? What is it they're fucking arguing over, man? Because I don't know. I don't fucking know. What is it they spend all that time arguing about?
Nonsense.
Like, are we talking about percentages? Like, we need to...
There are currently 150 members of the House of Representatives. Right? Members are elected for a 3-year term. We will have a new Prime Minister next week. Right? Yeah. I reckon we'll get another one in, 6 months? We'll have another... we'll have a leadership spill. And it'll, But there's currently 150 federal. As in, like...
150 cunts get together every day...
And argue about
nothing and nothing actually gets done.
No. When they could be actually talking about issues, looking at each other saying, all right, boys, listen, we don't like each other, whatever.
Yeah.
But let's meet in the middle. Let's try and figure something out because it's getting out of control. No.
And you know what kills me? It's always like negatives. Like, what every party's going to bring to the table, it's like there's a negative.
They always
There's a
bring up
negative.
personal stuff, too.
Yeah.
Have you heard it on ABC, man, at night? Man, I've flicked the channel, and they've actually got like Parliament, like they record it. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Wyndham Vale, what about that time you spent that much money on the prostitution? And everyone's like, and settle down.
It's fucking hilarious.
Is that what you're talking about? Really?
Because we're doing that now, man.
Look at Tent City that's happening in the city right now because I think last podcast with the homeless.
There's no coverage on that whatsoever as well.
That's
nothing.
getting out of control.
Yeah.
Man, it's just that, like, all the negativity, right? Like, it's always like, what's each party going to bring? It's like, with like now with the election, how they're saying if the Liberals get in, we're going to lose our
Medicare.
We're going to lose our Medicare.
But see the ad that just came out with Turnbull? I watched it the other day. It's like, I will not privatise Medicare. Medicare will stay to the public. Yeah, Medicare's gone.
But dude,
it's gone.
Johnny Howard said he wasn't going to introduce a GST. And that's the first thing he did.
Yeah. So, but then you look at Labor as well. Like, I don't like any of them. I really just don't like any of them.
Yeah, I'm not going Labor against Liberal or whatever because I'm a worker.
I reckon they're all full of shit.
I'm just saying, like...
Dude, they're all part of the same fucking gang.
Liberal Party will bring... privatise, Medicare, and they'll get rid of penalty rates. Yeah. Like on weekends.
Okay, that'll help a lot of families.
If they get rid of penalty rates, I'm fucked.
Yeah, forget it.
I'm fucked. I'm going to have to start working a minimum 15, 20 hours a week more.
Yeah.
Just to meet... just to fucking keep my head just above water.
And then it comes to people with actual kids. But
that's what I'm saying, man. Why would you get rid of penalty rates, man? Like, that's the whole...
To save money.
Who's saving money? Business owners are saving money, not fucking, like, workers.
Yeah.
How many workers are there to every business owner? If one business, like, one small business employs 10 people, one big business employs 200 people, one massive multinational business employs thousands of people... Yeah, no, you know what? We're going to cut salaries. We're going to... No, not even salaries. We're getting rid of, like, the hourly rate, the wage. Yeah. So workers now have to work an extra 10, 20 hours a week more just to make the same amount of fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, and who benefits?
Then we're going to lift the prices on goods.
Yeah.
And services.
Yeah.
And then there's the talk of Medicare going as well.
Yeah,
like,
if
what the fuck?
If that goes... Let's finish.
I keep seeing those ads for the health insurance.
People just cop it though, dude, like everything else.
Like a mate of ours yesterday. We asked him, we go, do you have health insurance? Like private health insurance? Like, yeah. And
like, what's it cost, man? Because I see all those ads, for like $10 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's about like grands. Like thousands.
A year. Yeah. And I'm like, what do you get out of that? He's like, just a peace of mind pretty much. Like, just that I can, alright, but do you get like a rebate? Like, what happened? Nothing. I just,
Peace of mind, if something happens, he'll get to a hospital. Man, like, I don't have RACV cover anymore. Like, that's actually something I don't have, roadside assistance. Like I said it ages ago. Ambulance cover, roadside assistance, all these... No, dental. I don't have dental.
Yeah, my teeth are gone.
Dude, I've still got that gap in my fucking tooth, my molar. It's still there. I swear to God, it's been what, man? A month?
We're gonna have to
6 weeks?
We're going to have to use his private health insurance.
I'm not even joking. Yeah. I've still got that gap, and man, I haven't even thought about, like, getting it sorted out.
But that's the thing, like...
Dude, shouldn't the people come first? Like, shouldn't the people that make the fucking world go around come first?
No.
Like, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they should.
Like...
But that's what I'm saying. Like, man, that's why it got me, like, hang on, if they get rid of the penalty rates on weekends, there goes all incentive to work the weekend. Oh. And if you're already working the weekend and you're not getting rewarded and you're a casual, so you're not getting fucking... sick pay, holidays, all that sort of shit.
Bother,
then what's the incentive to do it? It's a job.
I tell you what, man. Like, and this might sound funny, but people like, the world will be fine. Like, Australia will be fine if we cut the penalty rates. As stupid as this sounds, crime rate will go up. Do people understand this?
That's not stupid. That's common sense, man.
Do these people understand this? Like, do these parliamentary poofters, like, crime will go up.
Oh, they understand.
They fucking know.
You know what I mean?
They're banking on it, man.
Like,
so that way you can start throwing people in prison.
If you take away Medicare and you cut penalty rates, we're talking like 60% of Australia's population will suffer.
Outright. Like, straight away.
Straight away.
And it means, like, man, the one thing I get from, like, our job, man, the fact that, like, forget the fact that we work like idiots, and we have no security. We work the weekend, and that frees up, like, a day of the week. So, like, we don't have to work 50 hours a week. We can work 40, and we're okay. Or 30 even, and still survive, if you have a shitty week. Like, as in our rate goes up, and we do the bulk of our work on the weekend. That's the incentive to work.
Yes.
Man, like we said, we bank on the fact that we're not going to get sick. I'm clearly fucking sick. We've all got the sniffles here, right? We're sick. We're working weekends just to stay ahead.
Yeah.
Get rid of that incentive.
Forget it.
Then get rid of the fact of going to the doctor and being able to afford to see the fucking quack. Man, you're fucked.
The fact that it's even in question is just fucking ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. How can you just throw it around like that? Like it's just a bargaining chip on the table. Like, yeah, man, roll the dice. Yeah, fuck them.
It's human lives. Like, just look after us and we'll be like...
Dude, which countries in Scandinavia? Is it Sweden or Switzerland or something? They've got free healthcare. They've got, like...
Free uni and shit.
Free uni?
Yeah, free education.
Do they realise that...
They've got that in Cuba. They've got it in Cuba.
Yeah, but do they realise by doing that, you give people the more opportunity to invest back into the country?
Yeah,
like,
man.
Do they...
Greater education.
Like, I mean, this is like us just talking, like, we're just three dickheads. And look, listen to what we're saying, and these parliamentary guys can't meet in the middle and say, okay, maybe we
there
can
is
do
never
this
any
or
middle,
can do
man.
that.
It's always you're fucked.
Because you invest in the people. Like, if you give them free uni, they don't have to stress. Then they'll get jobs, and they can invest, like,
It's
whatever.
an educated population, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that can only enhance your country.
Yeah.
Like, it's not... Come on, man. Come on, Australia.
Look at the frustration.
Come on, Australia. Get your shit together.
Look at the
Far
frustration, man.
I'm talking to you, Turnbull, and the other guy.
The amount
I don't even know his name.
Some malaka.
Some guy from Queensland.
Shorten.
Oh, yeah, Billy Shorten.
Billy Shorten.
Yeah. He just looks like the guy in your car.
You were starting to say
No, it's just, what Nick was saying. I was just like, I hear so many stories about kids that are struggling paying their HECS fees back, and even parents that have paid for it and they're still in debt. Like, their kids are in the mid-20s and they're still paying it off and struggling.
Didn't they get rid of HECS debt now? Like, you can't no longer HECS?
No.
You have to pay for the education.
No, it's got their, you pay it back, like, if you earn a certain amount and all that kind of stuff, but they've still got it. It's not called HECS anymore, though. It's called something else. I think it's called, like...
I love how they just rewrap it, repack.
Oh, that's what they do. They just refoil...
Called this now.
Yeah. You know what happens with this Australian government? It's been happening for years. They're just going to keep wrapping the same fucking thing until it just breaks open.
Yeah.
And it's going to spill out, and there's going to be chaos.
Yeah.
Eventually. I mean, how many prime ministers... Like you said it a few weeks... Was it? How many prime ministers have we had the last...
Oh, yeah, like one for every...
Since like Kevin 07?
More prime ministers in years. In the last, like, 5 or whatever.
That is ridiculous. Yeah.
And on top of that, I was in the radio on the way here. There's like some new law that they've passed where you can get 14 years in jail if you're like a violent protesting.
That is... What?
And you can see it already, like... They will just fucking grab someone and just say that they were violent and just fucking throw them in jail.
But rapists get 3 years with, minimum of 1.5 and...
14 years for protesting because you're not happy?
Exactly.
Do you remember what happened in France?
That's taking away your civil rights. That's taking away your rights.
Dude,
10 years ago, it happened in France, man. It must have been about 10 years ago. They were trying to change something to, like, the laws surrounding education.
Oh, and the consequence.
And they said, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to fuck up everything. Man, they threatened to burn down Parliament. Everyone just started rioting.
Yeah.
Dude, that law was... they didn't even bother moving it. They're like, nah, fucking motion.
Well, now in Australia, dude, if you fucking do that, you're going to jail for 14 years.
That's ridiculous. And it's, again, the taxpayers that have to pay for it.
This country is so fucking controlled, dude. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, you can't even protest anymore.
It's mini-America.
That's fucking disgusting.
So you're angry, you're pissed off, I'm fucking struggling, and I can't do anything about it because now I'm just going to get thrown in prison if I try to. They've got it fucking... They got it wrapped up, dude. Like,
man, that's Demolition Man.
Yeah.
What a mad movie.
Yeah, that's that black... there is that force that I was talking about, like, a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Gestapo, man.
Mm-hmm.
We do as we say.
Yep.
That's it. Cop it. That's fucked. I don't know. When did this get... How does that get passed?
But this is the decision.
150 cunts. You know what pisses me off? 150 cunts sit here and argue about what's going to happen to us. Meanwhile, there's a fucking umbrella of the big fucking 4, the big fucking 5, however many, all the fucking power broken cunts that run the fucking show, paying to swing the 150 cunts around like puppets.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you go, here, throw your fucking bacon, like, here's some cookies.
You go nuts.
Yeah, go sick. Yeah. Get it done.
That's exactly how it is, dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Meanwhile,
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the everyday cunt is going to have to start paying more to go to the doctor or get a fucking education, and has to work 60 hours instead of 45. For what, man? For what fucking gain? And they're still going to be talking about how this country's got no fucking money left.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding?
Exactly, dude. It's fucking so backwards.
Fuck,
it's so
man.
backwards.
We need to get into Parliament, boys.
Yeah, let's start a party. Let's
The
fucking...
Bobby Preacher Party.
That's fucked, man.
Yeah.
That is fucked.
Yeah.
You can't even go against.
No, man.
You cannot even go against anymore, man. That is disgusting.
Yeah.
So much for the election episode, yeah?
Yeah.
This is the election episode. Alright, do me a favour, just chat to your thing.
Yes, I'm Arthur, and I'm here to talk shit with the rest of them, apparently.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay. Zoom this shit in. Ah, sweet, we're good. We should be alright. I don't see a reason why not. I pump that fucking shit up. Alright, man. Election edition of the fucking podcast. This is the Buckshot Election edition. No shit, we haven't had this, which is pretty fucking funny.
First guest.
Yeah, that. Yeah. First fucking guest of the dojo, man. Welcome.
So I've listened to every episode and I've been a fan, and you guys have given me an excuse to talk about politics, which you will regret.
No chance, man. I love it. I fucking love it. Let's hear it.
So I'm a Greens voter. I don't apologise for it. Pretty, yeah.
Greenie.
Dude, you know what, man? Of all the fucking shit we've talked, I've never actually put you in any party, any democrat, like nothing. You're the most neutral dude when you present the facts.
Yeah.
You guys green.
So you're going to guess that I'm not a fan of Malcolm Turnbull?
Nope.
And I've started, since you kicked Tony Abbott out, I've noticed a few things, and then you guys started talking about politics, and I thought I'd look into it. And down the rabbit hole I went. So I guess a bit of background on Malcolm Turnbull. He studied at the University of Sydney in 1973. Started 1973. The same year, the Labor government decided that you get university for free. So he got 4 years free university at Sydney University. Got a Rhodes Scholarship. Went to Oxford in England. Got another 4 years free university.
I did not know that.
Lucky Malcolm.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know that.
So 8 years straight of free university.
That's nice.
And he returned to Australia to work as a barrister, and he was a very successful barrister, and he oversaw a number of companies buying and selling stocks, moving in and out of situations. And now he's worth $200 million. Now, I'm not trying to take that away from him. He's a very smart guy. So his biggest windfall was when he sold his stake in Oz Email. So he purchased his stake in this company for $500,000 in 1994. He then sold it for $57 million in 1999.
Wow. Mr. Turnbull.
5 years.
5 years.
Mr. Turnbull in the know.
Yeah, $57 million in one hit. Bang.
I thought he was like some sort of entrepreneur genius, man.
No, he's not. He's literally, he just buys and sells stock.
Jeez.
And he was a good lawyer, so he made a bit of money as a barrister.
So he knows how to talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, he's a smooth
salesman.
talker. Yeah, and you will see as we continue.
God, man.
So, Malcolm had hung around politics for quite some time, but he officially entered politics in 2004 when he was elected as a Liberal member of Wentworth, where he still is. By 2007, Malcolm Turnbull was already creating a bit of controversy. At the time, he was worth $125 million. And it was found that he was claiming $175 tax-free a night, so extra money from the government, from us, from our tax dollar.
For what?
To stay in his wife's Canberra townhouse. And when he was... So, his wife owns a house, and he's claiming extra money from us to stay there and paying her rent.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking integrity of this dude.
Yeah. So when he was questioned about it, he said, "I'm entitled to an amount for every night I spend in Canberra. And where I stay is immaterial, and where I stay is of no concern to the government."
All right,
yeah.
This is unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Man, the man's worth how much?
125 million at that stage.
At that stage.
He's worth 200 million now, and he's still doing it.
Claiming $175 a night.
Yeah. It gets worse.
It gets downhill from here.
Okay. That is fucked up. Alright, let's go. Keep rolling, man. This is the best.
This story comes to you in 3 parts. And it's called The Malcolm Turnbull's
Trilogy.
Adventures in Tax.
Alright, let me ask you a question. Where did you get all... Because, dude, see what he's got? He's got notes. He's the most presented cunt here.
Yeah.
We've got
Professional.
We've got no idea what we're doing.
He's our political correspondent.
Dude, this is our political correspondent, man.
So part 1 comes from you mostly from his own public disclosure. So when you're a politician, you have to disclose that you have invested interests. Does it make sense?
You have to?
Yeah, you have to. So if you're invested in Telstra, you can't be then like, oh, let's give Telstra the NBN.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so he's disclosed this himself. And I've got stuff from the ATO, and then later it's Australian Financial Review and the Sydney Morning Herald. Okay. Yeah, so Malcolm Turnbull disclosed that he was invested in 2 companies based in the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands are a well-known tax haven.
Of course they were, man. Of course it was the Caymans.
So not only are they registered to the Cayman Islands, they're both registered to the same address. A place called Ugland House. Now, I've got a picture of it because I wanted to show you.
The fuck?
So it's a 5-storey building.
That's a nice-looking establishment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the size of a 5-storey apartment building.
It's like where I live.
It's not a shopping centre. So how many companies are registered to that building?
I don't know. You said there was 2.
At least 2.
2, yeah?
Yeah, that Malcolm Turnbull was invested in. I want to guess, because you're wrong. Throw a number out there.
Well, 2 to that, to Turnbull. How many other mobs would have had their hands in? I don't know.
Barack Obama in 2009 said this is either the largest building in the world or the largest tax scam in the world. It's Barack Obama.
Holy shit. I don't even want to guess because it would just sound fucking stupid just for coming up with a number.
Okay, so 18,000.
I was going to say 7.
I thought maybe 10. You know, if Turnbull's got 2, then it's a 5-storey building, 1 company per story. You know, like I don't know.
Oh my god.
1,000.
18,000. It's actually getting much closer to 19,000 now.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yep.
That is fucking wrong.
So, yeah, and the 2 companies that he's invested in aren't based there at all. They're just registered. So they've got offices all around the world. I doubt they've even been to this building. Anyway, so the question is, are the Cayman Islands a tax haven? So the ATO says there are 2 things that define a tax haven. First being a low tax rate. So in Australia we have progressive tax. So you don't pay any tax on the first 18,000 you earn, and then it goes up in increments.
Yeah, the more you earn.
And then once you earn everything over $180,000 gets taxed at 45%.
Yeah, like flat, yeah.
So people like us, average Australians, people who earn around $59,000, the average wage, we pay 18% tax once you average it all out.
Yeah.
Anyone want to guess what the tax rate in the Cayman Islands are?
Oh, shit. Okay, well, we've got 19,000 companies working out of one building.
Yeah.
And the dumb cunts are paying 18% tax now.
I don't want to feel stupid again.
I don't want to feel stupid again.
Go
lowball, go.
I'm going to lowball it to about 1.5%.
5%? I'd say 5.
5%, I'll go
5
5.
safe.
0%.
Fuck!
Nick wins. Closest.
0%.
That's ridiculous.
0% flat tax.
What are we doing here?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Are these... I'm going to tear my...
Hence why.
I'm going to tear my fucking hair out. 0% tax.
Yeah.
This cunt is worth like 250 mil.
Yeah.
I want to burn this entire building down, man. I've had enough.
So we're about halfway through part 1.
Shit.
Okay. The second thing that defines a tax haven, according to the ATO, is a lack of transparency. So, in March 2010, the Australian government and the Cayman Islands signed a tax information exchange agreement, which basically allows the Australian government to say, listen, we know this person has accounts with in your country. We want to look at those accounts. So they exchanged tax information to make sure Australians can't hide money in the Cayman Islands. Mm-hmm. That was in 2010. 2014, the Australian government decided to exercise its rights under the tax exchange agreement. And the ATO investigators went to the federal court and was knocked back. And the ATO investigators were told that they would be exposed to risk of incarceration should any of them decide to visit the Cayman Islands.
Just for going to suss it out?
Yeah, so not only are we not going to give you this information, we will arrest you even if you just land on the island.
There you go.
We'll just,
no go zone.
That's fucked.
Okay.
What? My head hurts.
And that's not even part 1 finished.
Oh my god, man.
So, Malcolm Turnbull, this is late last year, Malcolm Turnbull was questioned about this in Parliament. And he said his investments were taxed in full in Australia.
But the investments are all offshore.
Yeah.
So then what's he paying?
He would argue that he took the money overseas, and then when he gets money, he brings it back into the country.
And then it gets taxed when he brings
he brings it back.
But he's paying zero on it to make do. It's still a
but he would
smidgen.
pay full tax in Australia. So it's the same, basically, he says. So, okay, let's give him his word on that. In Australia, shares you held for more than 1 year are subject to the capital gains tax discount. So remember, just before we were talking about how a normal person who earns $59,000 pays 18% tax.
Yeah.
If you made $59,000 from selling shares you've had for more than 1 year, you pay 9% tax. Because you get a 50% discount.
Why? Just because?
Just because.
Oh my god.
So...
Lovely.
Yeah, so the maximum rate is 45%. And with the capital gains discount, you only pay 22.5%. So when Malcolm sold his shares in Oz Email, they were subject to the capital gains discount, which meant he didn't have to pay half of the $57 million in tax. So your maximum tax rate is like 30. Our maximum tax rate is 32.5. His maximum tax rate when he made $57 million was 22.5%. So, and remember how we were talking about Malcolm Turnbull using taxpayer money to pay his wife's mortgage?
Yeah.
Yeah. So her house is also subject to a capital gains tax discount. So Malcolm Turnbull's wife buys a house in Canberra, and he lives there a couple of days a week. Takes taxpayer money, which he gets tax-free, so he doesn't pay tax on the money he gets to live in that house. He gives it to his wife, who then negatively gears the house, so she doesn't pay tax on that money either, and then may even claim depreciation and other tax benefits from having that house. So she's making money on that house. And then when Malcolm Turnbull decides he doesn't want to be a politician anymore, she sells the house, and the profits... So the house would increase in value, and the profits she makes would be taxed at half the rate that a normal person would get taxed. Because it's a capital gains tax discount.
Are you... Dude, I can't sell my car without paying, up the arse. When you go to Vic Roads, and it's like, how much did you sell your car for? You have to put a reasonable number in there, otherwise you're going to question it.
Yeah.
So they would argue that having this discount would encourage Australians to invest in the stock market, invest in Australian companies, invest in property. But, as you've just seen, that Malcolm Turnbull made a tidy bit of cash and then sent it overseas.
Yeah.
Capital gains discount tax and negative gearing on housing pushes up the price of housing, which makes it very hard to buy a house. So, whatever. That's the deal.
That's unbelievable.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah. So
it's infuriating.
Some people get narky about a progressive tax and say, "Oh, why should Malcolm pay 45% tax on his income when we only pay 32.5?" So when Malcolm made $57 million selling shares in Oz Email, the internet at the time, Telstra, was publicly owned, paid for back by taxpayers. It was sold. 33% was sold a year before he sold his shares, and then a little bit later. But so the point is that I never made $57 million on the internet. So it makes sense that Malcolm would pay a little bit more tax for a service he used to make a shitload of money.
Yeah.
So people get narky about progressive tax, but it's there for a reason. So you benefit more from you benefit more from the services that this country provides you. So Malcolm's tax dealings are suspicious, and it's not the first time he's declared interest in the Cayman Islands. Because of the lack of transparency, he could be hiding money in the Cayman Islands, but without an effective tax information exchange agreement, there's no way to prove it.
No way,
that's
it.
No, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. At this stage, Malcolm Turnbull is not hiding money in the Cayman Islands.
Okay, I have to ask, man, all your shit, all your facts, everything you got in front of you, where have you got it from?
Newspapers.
Okay, so this is just a compilation of shit that people should know, but probably wouldn't have heard.
Yeah, so this is all legit. Like, this isn't like this is the Australian Financial Review.
Yeah,
ATO government page.
This is information that you can access, but idiots like us wouldn't have heard.
Yeah, so he was asked questions about this in Parliament. And it was a big deal at the time, late last year.
Okay.
But then it fizzled out because of that last sentence. There's no way to prove it. Yeah. So he can say what he wants, and
that's it.
Yeah. So they can just keep accusing him. He don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Prove it. So at this stage, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And besides, so that's the ATO says the most common form of tax avoidance is to conceal ownership of an international business or company. And in May this year, 1.5 million documents leaked from a Panama law firm known as Mossack Fonseca. Okay, Panama is another tax haven. This company has long been suspected of helping wealthy people avoid tax. One of the documents leaked confirmed that suspicion when a partner at Mossack Fonseca admitted that, quote, 95% of our work coincidentally consists of selling vehicles to avoid tax.
Oh my god.
People named in the documents included Emma Watson from Harry Potter and Vladimir Putin,
of course, mate.
who has funneled over $2 billion into offshore companies from Russia.
What a boss. When you put a KGB dude in as your president, man, expect it. Like, what a gun. I love Vlad, man.
He did this through his friend, a cello player, as well. So this cello player somehow managed to come across $2 billion. It's just that good.
Yeah, he's a cellist. A cellist just rolling in the bank like it's 50 Cent. You know what I mean?
Looking cash.
Yeah. So these documents also named Malcolm Turnbull.
From the Panamanian ones?
Yeah.
What the...
Yeah, so story time. In 1991, Mossack Fonseca established a company for an Australian named Ian McNee in the British Virgin Islands. The British Virgin Islands are another tax haven. Ian McNee, with the help of Sydney businesswoman Ludmilla Melinkoff, managed to negotiate a 35% share of a company named Lena Gold. Lena Gold had the rights to mine a gold mine in Russia, which to this day is the largest untouched gold mine in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So this is public knowledge at the time. This is a big deal. Like there were 3 letters from the Prime Minister of Australia at the time to Russia and stuff. So yeah, big deal. Malcolm Turnbull, along with former New South Wales Premier Neville Wran, became involved in the company in 1993 when Malcolm's company, Turnbull and Partners, provided finance which allowed an Australian mining company, Star Mining, to acquire a company based in the British Virgin Islands which had rights in Lena Gold, which had the rights to mine a gold mine in Russia.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
The acquisition cost $5 million in cash and $72 million worth of stock in Turnbull and Partners. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know what... I'm fucking speechless, man.
They're just gangsters, basically, aren't they?
Yeah. This is all like public knowledge. So this is standard operating stuff.
Except no one knows.
But no one fucking knows.
No one knows it because it's swept under the rug and it's.
Yeah.
And we're talking about one guy right now. One aspect of one guy.
Yeah.
Like the smirk on this guy's face.
So what was not known at the time was that Malcolm Turnbull was directly linked to this company, Mossack Fonseca, company which admitted to selling vehicles to avoid tax. A spokesperson from Malcolm Turnbull released a statement saying that Turnbull was not aware of any payments to political parties or politicians made by Star Mining during or prior to his time as director, and the article had no suggestion of impropriety whatsoever. So I should have gone... Yeah, there were suggestions that this company had paid off Russian politicians to get the rights to mine Lena Gold. Sukholog mine, I should say.
I love how, like, Turnbull's just in the mix. Like, just in the mix. Like, yeah, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
This is our fucking poster boy of the country. Like, yeah. Just happen to be associated with fucking all this shit.
just an innocent bystander. just wasn't aware of any donations to political parties before or after his time. You know,
just got caught up in it.
Just got caught up in wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. How long? Shit.
Yeah. So a spokesperson continued to say that the merchant bank's interests were accounted for and disclosed in accordance with relevant legal requirements. So that's Malcolm Turnbull and partners of the merchant bank. They just lend money. Okay, so, yeah, accounted for and disclosed in accordance with the relevant legal requirements. For the 2 years after Malcolm Turnbull became involved with Star Mining, over $100 million was sent through Star Mining towards the mining project. $100 million sent offshore. Yet in Star Mining's 1994 and 1995 accounts, the mining project appeared with an asterisk and a note. Quote, controlled entity not required to be audited under British Virgin Islands requirements.
Why?
Because it's not required.
They said so.
What the fuck?
So
that's how it is.
Yeah, so we don't know where that $100 million went. In September 1995, Malcolm Turnbull stepped down as director of the company in British Virgin Islands, and it struggled on until 1998, when Russia stripped Star Mining of its stake in Linar Gold, and the company wrote off $127 million in the failed venture. So what happens when you write off $127 million is it means you don't have to pay tax on the next $127 million you earn.
Why? Why? What?
Cause.
That's a big cause. We're not talking about like a lazy $2,000, you know, from like your failed milk bar where it's like,
No.
oh, you just throw it under the rug, you know? It's
Yeah.
27.
So, and it works for individuals as well. So, going back to Malcolm Turnbull's Oz email deal. So, he invested $500,000, and if the company turned belly up, he would then be able to claim not pay tax on the next $500,000 he earned. But it has to be from capital gains income.
Yeah.
So, not your personal, like, go to work every day.
No. Like anything, just investment. Like
Yeah, so investment from capital
Yeah,
gains.
It's unbelievable. I'm just being out here.
Dude, this guy is like, he's a
big pimpin', man.
This is like a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If this was a movie, you'd be sitting there like eating your popcorn, like waiting for him to get shot.
So
you know?
In Panama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has... So this is from the ATO, and it says 30% of large corporate businesses pay no tax. And this is part of the reason why they can get away with that, because they write off losses. So, yeah.
Yeah, you make a loss, you don't
have to pay tax.
But anything's a loss. Anything and everything can be a loss. You can name anything as a fucking loss.
Yeah, even weird companies where you don't know where the $100 million went. So, Malcolm Turnbull said in response to this is the first part of the leak, there's nothing new here. If it had made any profits, which it did not, it certainly would have paid tax in Australia. Which is bullshit, because you're a big fan of Apple. Apple don't pay tax in Australia.
Why not?
Because they don't earn any money in Australia.
Hang on. Say that again, please, because I'm looking right at him now. All right.
Don't worry.
Hey, I just like their products.
It's not just Apple; it's Google as well. So, what Apple do is they get the phones made in China. Not cheap.
Korea, or Vietnam. I know the
China.
Samsung's Vietnam or Korea.
Yeah. So, and then they ship the phones to Australia to sell. But as they're shipping them, they sell them to a company based in Ireland. Ireland, from memory, has a 10% flat tax, but because of extras, they can push that down to about 5%. And then they sell the phones at wholesale price to Australia.
Okay.
So when they sell, they buy the phone at $800 or whatever they are, and they sell it to someone for $800. They don't make a profit. All the profit is made in Ireland, and all the tax is paid in Ireland, and they pay zero tax in Australia. So,
how the fuck? It's like an intricate web of just dodging each other's shit.
And that's why 30% of large corporate companies don't pay tax. in Australia, despite making ridiculous profits. Like Apple makes ridiculous profits in Australia. Every second person you see has an iPhone.
Yeah.
But they don't pay any tax.
So what you're saying is Bobby funds the IRA?
Yeah.
I'm the enemy. Wow.
Holy shit, man. So they just sell it before it gets here to offshore, and then it's technically an international site. It's not here.
Yep. So at the time, Malcolm's involvement was public knowledge, and he claims that he was not aware of the company was established and administered by Mossack Fonseca or of any bribed Russian politicians before or during his time at the company. Part 3.
This is going to be the punch to the gut, isn't it?
This is the one where we just flip the table and kill him.
On June 14th, so 10 days ago, more information from Panama Papers and testimonies from people within Star Mining suggested that Malcolm Turnbull did make money from the venture, and there was a significant evidence that payments were made to Russian politicians both before and during Malcolm's time as Director of Star Technology. So some of this is testimony, which you can write off because you can't trust people, and others are leaked documents from Panama Papers, which are slightly more reliable. So go back. So run through it with the information. In 1991, the deal was approved by Russian President Boris Yeltsin.
Oh shit, Boris.
Yeah. In 1992, the deal is stalled by Deputy Prime Minister in charge of finance and economics, Igor Gaidar. He demands $1 million to allow it to continue.
What do you mean demands?
As in,
cash.
Pay me $1 million or I'm going to kick this out the door. Like, you don't get to...
What the fuck?
Yeah, so it's a bribe. And Ludmila Melnikov, the Sydney businesswoman that helped McNee secure the deal, says that McNee paid the bribe, although there are no documents to confirm this.
Just a suitcase with cash?
Yeah, so that one we only have her word for it. In 1993, Bill O'Neill, director of the company in the British Virgin Islands, leaves the board and is replaced by Malcolm and Neville Wran. O'Neill said that things at the company were, quote, not quite kosher, and he alleges that Ian McNee told him that he had to pay $10 million of his own money to Russian politicians to get the whole thing going.
Holy fuck.
Yep. So that's two people that allege that bribes were paid before Malcolm Turnbull was involved in the company. When Turnbull and Partners helped... So later in 1993, when Turnbull and Partners helped Star Mining acquire the British Virgin Islands company, they received $6 million of vendor shares and $3 million of vendor options from McNee. So that means they got stock.
Yeah.
The Australian Financial Review says, so I'm not an expert, it is unusual for an advisory firm to receive a commission it is not unusual for an advisory firm to receive a commission in a deal, but it is unconventional for someone advising the buyer in a deal to be paid by the seller. So that's important because if Turnbull had been paid by Star Mining, which was an Australian registered company, he would have been paid in Australia.
Yeah.
Because he was paid by the seller, he was paid
offshore.
In a tax haven where he doesn't have to disclose that kind of thing.
Johnny's losing it.
So we're dealing with gangsters.
That's it.
Yeah.
Business gangsters.
Yeah. So in 1994, Malcolm Turnbull starts to negotiate with Boris Yaskevich. Sorry for the Russian. Head of the Committee for Natural Resources. On the 24th of March, a request was faxed to Turnbull to approve payments of $70,000 and $30,000. This fax was sent to Malcolm Turnbull. Melnikov said that Turnbull knew nothing of the planned bribery and assumed the sender must have been drunk.
What?
The payment was made behind his back. So he's got a fax asking for $100,000.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, from a guy he'd been negotiating.
That's what I'm saying. But it was a drunk text.
Yeah.
Like you're messaging some bird at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, I was really fucked up. He just happened to get a fax, a well-written fax.
Yeah.
Signed off.
So in September 1994, it is alleged that the Russian President Viktor something demanded that $1 million would be deposited in a Swiss bank account. While there is no document to support this, he was notorious for demanding bribes and was under investigation by the CIA and a Swiss judge who were investigating his Swiss accounts. Later in September, Victor gave Star Technology the mining license. In late 1994, with the deal finalised, 63 million Star mining shares held by Mossack Fonseca administered companies changed hands, making millions of dollars of profit. Deal finalised, stock price goes up, everyone sells.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so Mr. Turnbull sold his shares that were given to him as payment and it made an estimated $3 million. Officially.
That's the official number.
In June 1995, Star Mining arranged for the Australian Labour Resource Minister David Beddall to invite Boris Yatskovich to Australia. All expenses were paid for by Star Mining. He spent the weekend at Malcolm Turnbull's farm and had several long appointments with a Sydney dentist, which was also paid for by Star Mining. So several long... It was described as a complete oral makeover.
Might as well just come down here and get my teeth done.
Yeah, comes down and gets his teeth remodeled. No worries, man.
So March 15, 1995. A half-yearly report signed by Malcolm Turnbull showed that 82 million shares worth 25 million, which were held by companies administered by Mossack Fonseca, had disappeared.
Of course it did.
So this is signed by him. On the 7th of May 1995, a signed fax from Malcolm Turnbull sent to McNee appears to suggest that at least 21 million of those missing shares ended up with Turnbull and Partners. In the fax, Malcolm suggested that he would sell 10 million of my 21 million shares to a third party, then transfer 30% of the remaining shares to Neville and 70% to me.
Okay.
Turnbull and Rand promised not to sell those shares while they remained directors of Star Mining. They left 4 months later. Okay, and then... man. So in 2004, Sydney Morning Herald reported seeing an internal company document written by McNee in 1996 after Malcolm had left, indicating the company was planning 2 separate payments totaling $300,000 to right-wing politician Vladimir Zirovsky. When asked about this, McNee said, "I don't want to speak about it."
Not talking.
That's it.
Bad luck.
Yeah. So everyone involved in the company alleges that politicians were getting bribed. The politicians were famous for demanding bribes. And Malcolm Turnbull was sent a fax demanding a bribe.
I mean, yeah, put 2 and 2 together.
And that's it. Why isn't this a bigger fucking deal?
Yeah.
Straight up. Seriously.
Yeah, so this came out 10 days ago and I haven't heard anything from Malcolm. Like, I searched today. Like, I just typed Malcolm Turnbull, Panama, news, last week. Nothing. So, make of that what you will. So, when I started this, I wanted to make a fancy political statement and convince you all to vote Greens.
Look, I'm going to ask you, because I'll tell you what, we all work, we work in the same fucking building, alright? We're in the exact same building. We all have the same conditions of, where we get our money from and what we have to do, right? Granted, dude, you're recently married, your own personal sort of life investments are different to mine. We all have different living scenarios at home. We're all different. You know, dude, you haven't got any kids, he's got a kid. Do you know what I mean? Everything's different, right? I was going to ask you outright, because, all this shit, none of us have fucking heard any of it. And we're all pretty in tune with what's going on. We're not idiots, as in blind to what's happening around us. I was going to ask you who the fuck we need to vote for and where do we stand to lose the most? Because, as I see it, we were discussing this before you walked in. We were just talking about how, Labor's throwing up the argument that Liberal will fucking strip penalty rates for weekends, Medicare, all that sort of shit. That affects us directly, right? Especially us three here, because we work weekends, man. that will affect us directly if that actually happens. And then we're like, well, then who the fuck do we vote for? And you've walked in saying you're a Greens dude, la la la. I'm like, well, fuck, that's a new one. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, man. Like, I need you to bring us the answers, man.
So I would say that you should spend at least 5 minutes on the Liberal webpage, on the Labor webpage, and on the Greens webpage. So the Greens make a lot of promises. So they want a lot of extra funding for health, mental disorder, chronic disease. So, yeah, so that's part of the reason why I'm voting for them. They're also the only one that has... So I'm concerned about global warming.
Okay.
I'm not crazy, and I don't think Liberal or Labor are doing enough. So that's primarily why I vote Greens, but they have really solid policies, and I urge anyone to spend 5 minutes on their website.
Okay.
And then make up your own mind. If you don't want to spend 5 minutes on the website, just vote Greens because I told you. So
trust me.
You just trust me.
Yeah. Or do the work, you know. So the reason I brought up this is because I wanted to talk about capital gains discount taxes, writing off losses and negative gearing cost the government just over $10 billion a year.
Oh.
Yeah. And the Greens want to get rid of that, and they're going to use that money to fund extra private healthcare. So you've got a daughter, and what happens in 10 years when she needs braces? You're going to be fucked.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But the Greens want to add dental care to Medicare. So they're going to strengthen what they've got, add Medicare. And I've got...
That's good.
Yeah, that is. That's fucking really good.
And they want to defend penalty rates. And, like, don't get me wrong, the Greens are crazy. Like, seriously, but, like, mostly sane policies and then just a couple of crazy ones.
What's the crazy ones? Give us a crazy one.
So, who here gets tax discounts?
What's tax discounts?
Yeah. No? You're lucky you claim $220 a year on work clothes.
Man.
Yeah. So,
did you make a donation? Maybe.
I don't know.
So, but people like Malcolm Turnbull, they get rich people. You know, they get $10 billion a year back from the government. So we're like, well, we're middle class. We don't get any benefits.
Lower class, man.
Yeah. So
I don't know about you, buddy, but
so
I like what you're wearing though, man. You look sharp. Notice, I've literally been wearing these trackies for 3 days, man. Since Friday.
I almost wore a suit, except I fell asleep and I got up and like, holy shit, I've got 10 minutes to get dressed. Yeah, and at the same time, like if you lost your job, like you've talked about the dollar before, it's not great.
Nah, it's shit.
So in my situation, I'm married and my wife earns. If I lost a job, like I'm lucky I've got a bit of money saved up. But if I didn't, I couldn't get the dole because she earns just enough to not make count. But we can't live off her. Like I'd be in a lot of trouble really quickly. So the rich get tax benefits. Middle class, not so much. And then poor people. So, Social Security and welfare cost us $160 billion last year.
Shit.
So, poor people and old people. There's your problem. Assistance to the aged is $63 billion. Assistance to people with disabilities, $33 billion. Assistance to families and children, $37 billion, and other stuff. So, part of the Greens policy is to invest more money in health, mental disorders, and hopefully that means that less people go on the dole. So they're hoping that by investing in health, you get better outcomes.
Okay.
So another good stat is that preventative medicine is worth 4 times more than reactive.
Reactive.
Yeah, so if everyone goes to the doctor and they only need to go to the doctor once out of every 4 times, you're still making money. So I was really against the government's copay, $7 copay.
What's that?
So Medicare is fully funded by our tax dollars. The government said if you want to go to the doctor, you have to pay an extra $7, even though it's already paid for. So, and that bugged me because, like, it's $7. I don't think I've ever gone to a bog-billing doctor, but at the same time, like, you lose because if one person decides, nah, I don't want to go, and they get really sick. Like, it's 1 in 5 Australians have diabetes.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Another Greens policy is a tax on sugary drinks, which will raise $500 million, which will be reinvested into health. Anyway, diabetes. If you don't go to the doctor and you don't get that shit checked, you could lose a foot.
Yeah,
and then you end up on welfare, and I have to pay for you to die, which I don't want to do. Like, I'm middle class, I pay taxes. I don't want to pay $160 billion in tax. So, let's play a little game.
Oh my god!
Have you guys heard of a basic living wage?
Yeah. As in, what a basic living wage is?
No, as in
you're
the
making
government.
a fact.
The government. No. So this is. It's happening in Scandinavia, and the Greens have announced a plan to do it for artists.
Okay.
So basically, the idea is everyone gets a doll. You get the doll. You get the doll. Malcolm Turnbull gets a doll. And because the Greens are a little bit crazy, they've decided to just do artists. So
define an artist, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was going to say.
How do you qualify as an artist?
Yeah, you guys are artists.
This would be an artist.
Yeah. So,
well,
me money.
Give me money. Yeah, cool. I'm an artist. What's this doll, man?
Yeah. So the idea of the basic living wage is everyone gets money. So every week you get 200 and what's the dollar payment?
I love you. Look at me, like I was on it yesterday.
It's probably like what? It's
a couple hundred, like $400 a fortnight or something.
So yeah, about $200 a week.
Yeah, well, let's just say $250 or something. Okay. Yeah. So basic living wage means that the government gives everyone in the country a doll. So everyone gets $250 a week. That means that when you lose, we could lose our job tomorrow and we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So the government says, don't worry about it. You're still going to get this $250. You don't have to worry about applying to 5 jobs you don't want and not going to get. You're not going to starve in our country.
Okay, so it's
and
a
you don't have
safety
to jump. Yeah, you don't have to jump through stupid hoops, and it's fair because, say you're on the dole and you're like, I don't want to go work for this guy because I'm going to have to work 30 hours a week and then I lose my dole. Mm-hmm. So you get the dole anyway. So that's why it works. So, and you might think that costs a lot of money. So we've got $160 billion spent on welfare. Let's divide that by how many people in the country.
So
up to 20? Or up to 20? We hit 20, didn't we?
A bit more than that.
I thought it was like 26 or something.
Yeah, closer. So
I got no idea, man.
Let's say there are 20 million adults, people over the age of 18.
Yeah.
Who would get a basic living wage if this went through? So that's 160 billion divided by 20 million equals $8,000 per person.
Okay.
Divided by 52 weeks in a year equals $153 per person per week. So you don't spend an extra cent.
Holy shit.
So let's have a little bit of fun with this.
Holy shit. That's up, yeah. So,
start again. Malcolm Turnbull is going to give tax breaks to small businesses, and when he says small businesses, they're not really small, but whatever. So that's going to cost us $54 billion, I think. So we've got... Let's not do that. Let's keep that $54 billion and put it towards a basic living wage for everyone in the country.
Yeah.
So it's 160 billion plus 50 is 210 billion. Divided by 20 million equals $10,000. Divided by 52 weeks in a year equals $200 per week per person. And then you could go further. So now a small business might be a bit upset they're not going to get the tax break, but then you've got to realise that every person in the country has
getting $200 a week just for the fuck
to spend on coffee. And
just to have.
Yeah. So let's go further. During Labor's last stint, everyone got some fairly significant tax cuts. So the tax-free threshold went from $6,000 to 18 grand, and the brackets came down.
Yeah.
So that was, again, roughly 50 billion in tax cuts. And that annoyed me, because if they didn't give us those tax breaks, they would have paid off the national debt. But because they're responsible, Wayne Swan literally got an award for how well he ran the country during the global financial crisis. We were rated number 1 world economic.
Yeah, I remember, man, when I was in Greece during the start of that big recession thing,
yeah,
they were all like, oh, what do you know in Australia? I go, mate, I know we fucking got through the fucking recession.
Yeah, we didn't have a recession.
Yeah, we didn't see it.
Yeah. So, and that's because they were really clever. Things like the school buildings. Like, there was a lot of complaints because they were building halls that schools didn't need. But it wasn't a program to build halls for schools. It was a jobs program. And it was designed to give people money so they wouldn't stop spending. Because once you stop spending, the economy goes to shit.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when they all gave us that bonus of like, how much was it? Yeah. And they said, go out and spend it.
What did you do with it?
I spent it.
Yeah.
I bought a TV.
Yeah, exactly. Like, 100%. Perfect.
Yeah. I bought a fucking TV.
And that's what you do. That's what happens when you give poor people money. They spend it.
Yeah. I love you just called me a poor person without calling
well,
me.
Yeah, okay, so not
the average.
When you give Malcolm Turnbull a big tax break, he shifts it overseas. I should also say that. So those two companies he invested in, guess what the minimum buy-in? So the minimum amount of money you need to give them in order for them to accept your business.
I don't know.
So first one is $250,000 minimum. Other one is $100,000 minimum. The Cayman Island company that he got in trouble for 2 years ago, minimum buy-in was $100 million US.
What?
Yeah, minimum. And that's what's called a vulture fund, which means they go around and like prey on poor dying companies.
What's the national deficit, man? What's the debt? What's the national debt?
It's got to be around 200 billion now.
200 billion?
Yeah.
Turnbull's been shifting fucking pennies around for the last 3 decades like nothing.
And it's gotten significantly worse under Liberal than it has. It was bad under Labor, but the debt has increased at an increasing rate under Liberal. So the idea that the Liberal government can get rid of the debt is not really 100%.
We haven't seen anything so far that's going to prove that. Yeah.
So anyway, back to what we're doing. So you've got what we spend on welfare. You say bad luck, small businesses that aren't really that small. You don't get the tax break. That's going to go into welfare, and then you say we're going to have to pay extra tax. So the tax-free bracket goes back down. Brackets go back down. So we pay more tax, not as much as maybe an extra $100 a week. So that we still get money from the government, and the money is still there if we lose our jobs. It's $250 billion divided by 20 million people equals 12 grand. 1,250 grand.
12 grand.
12 grand.
Yeah.
Divided by 52. $240 a week.
Yeah.
And that's the dole payment.
Yeah.
So you get rid of the dole. No one's on the dole. Everyone gets money. It's completely fair.
And they're trialling this. Where'd you say it was?
So this has been around for a long time. The first time I know that it was talked about seriously was with Richard Nixon.
Nixon.
Fuck.
Because I thought like a decade or two ago, man.
Nah. Nixon, and he's a Republican. Yeah. He's a Republican Jesus. Like. Yeah, because it's a different system. Like, I do not want to give my money to people who don't want to work.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to fund someone's drug habit or like any of that sort of shit, which is fair. It's like us.
So, and at the same time, I don't want to spend $3.6 million on general administration.
What?
Yeah, because that's how much money it costs to have someone sit there and say, "Have you applied for 5 jobs this week?"
That's all. Jesus Christ! This is.
And you can see I'm not making these numbers up. Like,
no, man. That's why I asked you, where's all your shit come from, dude? Like,
Yeah. So
It's more research than we've ever done.
So
we're sitting in Wikipedia and shit on the fly.
So
look it up, man. We're an analyst today. You know?
So that isn't a Greens policy, to be fair. But they want to do it for artists for some weird reason.
Just artists?
Just art. It's really strange, man. Greens, like, they shit me because I vote for them because I think they have good economic policies. Like, yeah, I care about the environment, but that's not enough to make me vote for them. So, and then they do shit like that, and they're weirdly anti-guns. Like, I get it. You want to preserve the environment, but don't stop people going in and shooting wild pigs.
Yeah.
Like,
because some of these wild pigs do go destroy farms.
They change shooting laws. Dude, they change shooting laws in this country, yeah? Because when I was a kid, man, we'd just pull up to any fucking park that we knew someone at or whatever, and you go shooting for goats, right? Then they changed it where you needed to be associated with a shooting club, right? There's one here in Springy, and me and my old man signed up to that. I didn't have a license, but my old man signed me up to that just to show that I had affiliation to the club, so I could still be let on at, like, properties. And basically, the only way you can go shooting now is if you know someone with a farm that lets you, openly invites you onto the property to shoot.
Yeah.
A lot of these farmers, man, they sign up to these clubs. I mean, they're probably active shooters as well, but they literally advertise the fact that they've got overrun by feral pigs, goats, rabbits, chewing up their shit. And that was the one argument I always used to bring up with people that were anti-shooting, anti-meat, all these poor fucking animals. I go, mate, what about the farmer who's got these feral pests on his property?
What about the native animals?
Yeah. You got kangaroos fucking fighting with feral pests that have now overrun. Well, they should never have been let in. Yeah, but they were let in. So
now you got to deal with it.
Yeah, this is dealing with the fucking problem, man.
And it's either shoot them or bait them. Like,
yeah. And the problem is, like, with the baiting, it doesn't always work. It creates other fucking pest shit, like other poisons.
It costs money as well. Yeah. Like, just fucking go into national parks. You're allowed to shoot these things. So we have pretty strict gun laws. In some ways.
Yeah, they are.
But at the same time, like, my brother has his license. A few of my friends have their license. So you can get a gun. You go get through, get your license. You don't have to shoot a gun to get your license.
Oh no, you don't.
Yeah, and then with that license, you can go buy a .50 caliber rifle, and then you can go into a national park and you can shoot it for the first time in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah. There's no dude. It's a written test.
Yeah,
I was going to take this test when I was like 16.
Yeah,
in lieu of my driver's license, I was going to take this test.
So
it's nothing, man. It's so fucking ridiculous.
Which seems like imagine if you did that with cars.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, here's a Skyline, fucking 17-year-old. You know?
Yeah, good luck.
You ever driven a car? No. I should be alright.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Go out here unsupervised, see what happens. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Watch out for the traffic lights, but just...
what are those?
You don't need to know.
Don't worry, man.
You'll figure it out.
No, it's fucked up.
Accelerator.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, man. And that's... Dude, it's just another contradiction in our fucking stupid system. Like, that just makes it hard for everyone, man.
Yeah, and you can't buy a pump-action shotgun, but you can buy a pump-action rifle. And like...
Well, we've got gun stores in Clayton.
Yeah, man.
So my brother is a responsible gun owner. He has, I think, six guns. My friends were in the army. They're responsible gun owners. But they can't buy. We have a tiered system, but to get up a tier is almost impossible. So I can go out there, never having owned a gun in my entire life, don't ever shoot a gun, and I can go buy a gun that is at the same level as these people that have been shooting for years, were trained in the army. Like, how does that make sense?
Yeah,
makes no sense.
Pro shooters, properly trained.
Man, honestly, that gun test is nothing, man. It's a couple pictures. It's just like...
Yeah,
you know what?
It's a lot of fucking around, which is good, because if you're a crazy person, like...
Yeah, it's good in that sense, because you actually have to go... You have to get written references from your doctor, teachers, all that sort of shit. Yeah. Then you got to go, you see the test, like, at this time of the day... It's not, but the thing is, it's not a competency test, like a driving test, where you have to sit in a car and fucking drive, and if you don't look in the rearview mirror, they give you a zzz. This is just a written test. It's pictures.
You pass that, you can pick up a gun.
It's literally like, if you're moving, I remember the images in it was like, if you have to climb over a fence, you pass the gun over first, then you climb over. You never try...
common sense stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You alright, man?
I'm fucking cold, man.
Welcome to the dojo.
I'll get you a blanket, man. I'm serious. I'll get you a blanket.
Where's the ambulance blankets? You know this?
Yeah, the victim blankets.
Yeah, victim
man.
blankets.
Dude, that's fucked.
So,
insane.
You alright?
I don't know. I can keep talking about random politics shit.
Dude, just say what you want, man. Seriously.
So,
what do you think we need to know, man? Just honestly. Floor is yours, man. Because honestly, this is like election week, and I completely forgot until I started seeing those fucking ads doubling up and tripling up during the footy. And I'm like, oh, crap. And you know what the election week said to me? That means I have to get up early and find somewhere to fucking vote, otherwise they're going to fine me.
But you'll be working.
Yeah.
Vote early, man. Like, I did it last year. It was the easiest thing I did. I voted a week early as when, and then I'm like, yeah,
where do
I'll be
I
working.
vote? I don't even
Just
remember.
Google it.
Your electorate, like, you got to just find your area.
But that's what I'm saying, man. That's all the election said to me.
Mate, but you've got, the office there, right, where Mario's Pizza is. You just go in there.
Just knock on the door, say, listen, cunts.
Seriously, just go in there and ask them. Go listen.
But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, forget policies, forget all this sort of shit. I got no idea who to vote for, man. Because everyone's saying different things. You know, man, it's all noise.
It is.
Yeah, and it's dangerous.
Who do we vote for, man? I've got no idea.
That's why I don't vote.
Are you registered?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And all parties lie. Like,
just lie. That's it.
I mean, Labor has been amazing in opposition, and if I trusted them, I would vote for them. But I don't, because they had government. Well, I got a lot of tax breaks from Labor.
Okay.
So but at the same time, like right now they're sprouting about gay marriage. I'm like, well, you had plenty of opportunity. Like, don't turn around now. Yeah. And it's dangerous. So there's a controversy now where the Senate ballot paper, that's the one with all the numbers where you've got to vote 1 to 6 above the line. So they're worried now that the person at the top left is a bit crazy. Yeah, so they're called the Australian Health Party. So they reckon that this party could get 1 to 2% because people go, oh, Australian Health Party, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fold up the paper, so they reckon they can get 1 to 2% of the vote. Their name is slightly deceiving. They question vaccines.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. So they're anti-fluoride. Now, for those of you who don't know, fluoride, the government adds fluoride to our water. It's a very, very slight acid. It basically means that your teeth don't fall out. If you drank a bottle of fluoride, it would kill you. But, you drink enough water, it'll kill you. Like,
don't drink the water.
So they think that natural remedies should be on par with Western medicine.
Okay.
They think that government is putting stuff in aeroplane exhaust, so they think chemtrails are real.
Shit.
And my favourite is that they are anti-Wi-Fi, so they reckon that all the electrical signals in the world are getting into your brain and giving you cancer. And that's my favourite because the easiest way to fix that is to literally wear a tinfoil hat.
Done.
But yeah, you could go in there and you would be completely forgiven for going in and voting for the Australian Health Party.
It's quite deceiving.
Yeah,
actually quite deceiving. Because why were we in there and I didn't know anything about them? Like, Health Party, okay, they're about the people.
It's about health. That's concern.
Yeah. So that's deceiving,
man. You'll know the answer to this, dude. How the fuck do we get on a ballot? That is smart.
So yeah, you guys are talking about running for Senate.
Yeah. How do we do it?
I don't know, but you could do it.
Yeah. Can you see it? You know what I can see? I can see a van just driving around. He's in the back just shuffling papers around, sending emails.
We've got a TV screen up there.
We've all got the Bluetooth headsets on, and he's just whispering shit into our ears.
So, yeah, while at work, I saw an ad, and it was... I can't remember the name of the party, but they were a one-issue party. All they wanted to do was lower immigration from $200,000 to a peak of $200,000 back down to $70,000. That was their one issue. It was called Sustainable Australia. So they have one issue, as far as I could tell from their ad, and it was frustrating because they could get in on that. Like, you don't need huge... And if you play your preferences right, Ricky Muir got in on 0.5% of the vote. He's a senator now. He's getting paid $170,000 a year, plus benefits. So, you know, he could be staying in his wife's Canberra home for $225 a week. A day, sorry.
Oh, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no, we're going to look into it. I'm dead set.
I want to know how to do it. I seriously want to know how to do it, man.
I'll have a shave, get a haircut.
That's it. That's all it takes. A shave and a haircut.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Or just be us.
Shit!
Johnny, we already spoke about this.
Yeah, man.
You're the face, son.
Why don't you ever do that? Man, have you ever considered that? Seriously.
Yeah.
You're probably, man, the one bloke I know that's as clued up on all this shit than anyone.
So I'm not that clued up. There
What do you mean, man? Let me tell you something, man. There's probably... You know what, man? If you had more time in the day, and if you were getting paid to, like, do this shit, you'd be clued up.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
But you actually have a general interest in the point where, like, you will dissect... I mean,
So if you got the opportunity...
The portfolio you put up just to come and see us and talk some shit for an hour...
In the dojo.
Like, think of it like that, man.
Yeah.
Like,
So I do have political aspirations.
that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah. So I'm a Greens member. I haven't done anything with the Greens, but I pay the membership fee. And I want to get in the police force, want to get my law degree, and then I'll see.
Okay. So it's in the pipeline, basically.
It's in the pipeline.
Okay.
But a million things could happen between now and then.
Yeah, anything could happen, man. You could win $1 million and just say, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I'm moving to Panama. Or the Cayman Islands. Sitting on
the plane, Van Halen.
Bad, man. You'd be, like, seriously, left everything behind for dead, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'd love to get into politics. I'd be... Like, if I had the time.
Man, it was just what... Look, you listened to it last week, yeah? We were saying the same thing today. No one seems to be coming to a middle ground for shit. Everyone's just completely polarised.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous. I don't see...
so much.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, because... yeah, anyway.
I know, you can be here forever, man.
Just one point. Daniel Andrews is a fucking champion.
Why? That is the office next to your house.
Why?
Yeah,
Why is he champion?
Okay, so he's been, premier for like a year?
At
least, yeah.
So he like gets in and he's like, I'm going to get rid of all the level crossings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he started work. Like, there are level crossings that aren't there anymore because Daniel Andrews...
I can tell you where they all are, man. There's one in Spring near my house. We passed one in Ormond today that they're just removing. Yeah. They've done them. I know an engineer that worked on half of them in Mitchell and Ringwood.
And then he's like, you know what? I reckon we could use another subway system. So from St Kilda to North Melbourne, I can't remember, they're going to put in a new subway.
Okay,
so straight up, bang up Swanston Street. He's like, whatever, fucking champion. And then he's like, you know what? I reckon we could use the tunnel to get under the West Gate. Whatever, He's like... And he takes every opportunity he can to, like, fuck off Malcolm Turnbull, because... and then he did all this with a $2.5 billion surplus. And that's a lot of money. Like, if you're looking at... it's assistance for every Indigenous Australian cost $2.2 billion. And he saved that amount of money. Like, you can do a lot with $2.2 billion.
Yeah, fuck oath.
And he's doing a lot.
You can see it. You can actually see the shit.
Yeah.
Which is what we were saying, man. We want to see something.
Yeah.
Not these hypotheticals about... If they're all hypotheticals about numbers that don't mean shit to us.
Something to help the everyday person.
Oh, and he's going to upgrade Punt Road.
How?
So I live on Punt Road, so this is going to directly affect me. Let's be honest, you look at Punt Road, it directly affects a lot of people each day.
Punt Road's a fucking nightmare, man.
So you're really restricted in what you can do with Punt Road. So what he's done is he's got... So when you sit at the traffic lights and you want to go forward, but then you have to wait for people to turn right in front of you.
That's the worst.
Yeah, because there's 3 cars go, and you're like, okay, there's 100 cars waiting to get... Yeah, so there are traffic intersections where you don't turn right. Okay. So it works a little bit like... so there's only ever 2 sets of lights. You either go straight or you cross. So there's no turning. So how they do that is that instead... So you've got the intersection down the road. What you'll do is you'll get into the right-hand lane 200 metres before the intersection. When there's a red light at the intersection and all the cars are going across in front of you, you turn out, cross cross oncoming traffic to the far right-hand lane. So instead of being in the right-hand lane on the left-hand side, you're in the right-hand lane on the right-hand side.
Oh, okay.
And you do that away from the intersection, just a couple hundred metres down.
Yeah.
When there's no cars.
Well, yeah.
And then when it's a green light, just go.
Yeah.
You just go because you've got the cars coming towards you, and you're just on the other side, and you just
snake off. Yeah.
So, and Punt Road's problem is traffic lights.
Yeah, there's heaps, man. These stop every 20 seconds.
Yeah. So.
It's something. It's something progressive that's going to affect everyone immediately, man. And that shit's. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's cheap. Like for forever, they've been talking about widening Punt Road.
But how?
Yeah, because they're going to have to knock down millions, if not billions, of dollars of houses.
To add an extra lane, to add more congestion and bottleneck everything all over.
And then you've got to widen the bridge, and then
the bridge.
And then but it widens on the so if you're heading north, you go across the bridge under the freeway, and then it's wide anyway. Like
it's actually quite wide where Gosh's paddocks and all that.
Yeah.
And it's still fucked. Like the traffic is still fucked. Like
it's not gonna.
So. Yeah.
Anyway. I think I'll knock down shit like on that end of Punt Road. Anyway, this guy's turning blue, so I think we better let him go. But man, thank you. I swear to God, thank you for coming down.
Oh, thanks for having me.
No.
The
political correspondence, man. King fucking Arthur. I swear to God, it's happening. Dude, you're a gun. I'm telling you, you're a fucking gun.
Fuck yeah.
I'm actually going to check out the websites of like Liberal, Labour and Greens or whatever.
Vote 1, Bobby Preacher.
Yeah, Bobby Preacher. Yeah. You need to hit today's. You haven't heard it. Obviously not. Watch. I wish I could just edit it in like 5 minutes so he's like driving home and then he's just like, what the fuck are they talking about? Just his reaction. He'll be hearing himself by the time he gets home. Nah, cool. Dude, thanks a lot, man. Honestly. Okay. What we got? I'm just going to say, Arthur's about to leave, and then you started talking about some fucking conspiracy, and I want to hear about it. So I'm not going to go home and Google blind because I'm going to have to edit this motherfucker everything. So get this out now because I want to hear it. Okay. What are you talking about?
The Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah. You know what I love? This is like a face-off. It's like the key of conspiracies. All right, let's hear this.
So when was it built? It was like 80s or something?
Yeah, in the 80s. A set of stones were put up in Georgia, America.
And it was very cold, so we've siphoned out a heater for him, and now he actually has a hot water bottle just with his shirt.
My shirt. Yeah.
How do you feel?
A little bit warmer.
All right, let's hear it. I want to hear this.
So the opening date for the Georgia Guidestones was March 1980.
So peak of the Cold War.
Peak of the Cold War. Made from granite, and it's in Albert County, Georgia. And basically, it's stones, and it has guidelines of how,
like 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments, basically.
So read.
What do you mean 10 Commandments? Like, who wrote them?
That's a mystery.
Yeah. So nobody knows who paid for it. Some company was given money, and they got permission from the government somehow. So it's official, and then they put it up, and no one knows where the money came from or who paid for it. And
what the fuck?
Well, it says here in June 1979, an unidentified person or persons under the pseudonym R.C. Christian hired Alberton Granite Finishing Company to build the structure.
How big are they?
It's pretty massive, 16 feet high.
Yeah, they're massive, dude.
Yeah.
And they've got little cutouts in the stones, to mark the equinox of the sun and whatnot.
Yeah. And the commandments are in 8 languages, the 8 most common languages, and 3 extinct languages.
Yeah, you've got Greek, Sanskrit, Egyptian hieroglyphics, Babylonian, classical Greek. Sorry. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah. What do they say?
You want to hear the guidelines?
Yeah, man, let's hear it. No one knows?
No, he's good.
I'm just going to find it. Sorry, it's been a while since I've looked at this shit.
I've never, seriously, this is new.
Been a while. Alright, so the 10 guidelines. Number 1 guideline, which is probably the most scary out of them all. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So they want to keep the population of the world under 500 million.
At the time of the Guidestones, it was already above 500 million.
So it's just start wiping people out.
Yeah. Start wiping people out. guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. That's number 2.
So that's eugenics.
Eugenics, exactly.
it's like conspiracy in hysteria right now. I love it, man.
Number 3, unite humanity with a living new language.
So what? Eliminate English is...
I don't
Isn't
know.
what? Like change the most common language to have... Oh, so one language
One language for everyone,
Yeah.
for the 500 million people.
Hence
Unite
English.
humanity with a living new language.
So English isn't great. So I reckon, if we sat down and we nodded it out, we could probably come up with something a bit better. Well, I'm so I don't need silent letters.
No.
Number 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason.
What does that mean?
I don't know. How do you interpret that?
Yeah. So it's humanist philosophy. So people would say that religion trumps rationality. So whereas this says rationality should trump religion.
Okay.
So you don't believe in ghosts and gods. You have to reason.
You have to be logical and
Yeah.
which is what we were talking about this before.
Yeah.
Fuck, you're gonna die when you leave, man. You hear this? All right.
Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court.
Okay, so like United Nations. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so that's kind of already sort of set up.
Okay, when
again.
was it? When were these up?
80.
Yeah, 1979 they were commissioned to build it, and then 1980 was the opening date.
Okay. Shit. All right.
Number 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm up for that.
Yeah.
Balance personal rights with social duties. That's number 8.
All right.
Number 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite.
What's the infinite?
Satan.
Yeah, all the universe.
Yeah. This one, straight away, say.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Number 10.
See Bobby Preachy here telling you to stay away from infidels. All right, go.
Number 10, be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature, leave room for nature.
Twice.
So,
Creepy shit, man.
so basically humans are cancer,
So we're
Nature's more.
bad.
nature's...
We don't deserve to be here, basically.
Yeah. So
Don't ruin
how do you
don't
interpret
ruin- Don't ruin.
Yeah, that's a good question. How do you interpret it, John?
Number 10.
Yeah.
No, or just
The whole thing.
It's the whole thing. I see it as a thing to come, really. Yeah, I don't know. You got a world court, you're going to wipe a lot of the people off the face of the earth. There's going to be a new language, one language. How else can you interpret it? I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I reckon it was at the height of the Cold War, so whoever built it is there's going to be a nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah, we're all fucked.
So he built it out of stone so it was going to hang around. That's why he's got the 8. So it's a literal... I forget the word of it, but it came from... Anyway, so if you forget a language, you can learn how to speak that language by comparing the texts.
Yeah.
And... Yeah, so it's my way of thinking is something that happens after the nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah,
It's
totally, dude.
Yeah, this is how we fucked up. We fought over petty shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
then in 2014, so there was a gap missing. So this was built in 1980, and there was a gap missing at the top, one of the stones. In 2014, a stone slotted in.
That's right. A stone slotted in its place.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It means that one day someone rocked up and there was a new stone perfectly fitted into a gap that was there from the beginning, with the words, it was 20-0 on one side, 1-4 on the other.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's creepy shit.
Who?
And I'll just go. Also, there's astronomical features. Channel through stone indicates celestial pole. The horizontal slot indicates annual travel of the sun. A sunbeam through the capstone marks noontime throughout the year. And then on the stones it has author R.C. Christian, a pseudonym. And then it's got the sponsors, a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. So that's what it says on the stones. It's got, under sponsors, a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. And then there's a time capsule, and it says placed 6 feet below this spot on to be opened ... and it doesn't have a date when the time capsule should be opened.
Yeah. So, and they have like dug around, and they reckon there's probably not a time capsule under there, so they don't know. But they haven't opened it properly, but they've done probing and they haven't seen anything.
There's nothing there.
There could be nothing there.
Could be.
Who the fuck?
And they're 19 feet 3 inches tall.
Shit, that's not small, man. That's big.
Yeah.
237,000
I can't believe I never read
pounds.
about this shit. Maybe I have it like at 3 in the morning or something and I forgot about it, but that's fucked.
It's pretty interesting shit.
Okay. Do we have time for another conspiracy?
Oh, what do you want? What do you got?
The Yatlov Pass incident. So this is my favourite conspiracy.
Alright, fuck it.
Was an event. The Dyatlov Pass incident was an event that took the lives of 9 hikers in mysterious circumstances on February 2nd, 1959. Okay, so 9 Russian school kids of different ages, so they weren't all young, experienced hikers decided to go on a hike. They disappeared. It took a while because it was 1959 for them to actually start looking for them.
Okay.
So they, dug around and there was a lot of snow, so they started digging down. They excavated the tent. And what they found was that these people had set up camp out in the open, which is a bit unusual. And then for some reason they had broken out of the tent from the inside. They had all scattered before regrouping and heading towards a tree line. They were not adequately dressed. Some of them didn't have shoes, some of them didn't have clothes on. It was minus 30 degrees. They found the first bodies at the tree line. 6 victims were determined to have died of hypothermia, while others showed sign of trauma. Another was found with brain damage.
What the fuck?
Fractured skulls. So, I'm not going to read it, but this is going to go off my memory, which is pretty close to accurate. They go to the tree line. So they went down, they found what looked like a fire. They found skin scrapings in the trees and broken branches, which means that they at some stage climbed up the trees. They don't know whether that was to get away from something on the ground or to look back at the campsite, which was up a hill. So they need to get up high to see the campsite. They found, I think it was 2 people dead, died of hypothermia at the fire, at the tree line. I think it was, and then so then they looked harder between, and they found 2 or 3 bodies on the way. So the bodies were face down towards the campsite. So they think that they'd ran to the tree line, they'd hung out there for a little bit, and decided, okay, we're going to send 3 guys back. They don't know whether the guys died of hypothermia before they left,
yeah.
but yeah, so I think they had scraps of clothes on, so maybe they did die. So they were getting clothes. So the people found at the campsite were naked because they'd taken their clothes. The people were found face down in the snow towards the campsite with fractured skulls. So something happened.
Yeah.
Something hit them in the back of the head.
What the fuck?
And it was at different distances. So as again, I can't remember whether 2 or 3, but they were like 500 meters away. One was found 100 meters away from the campsite. One was found 200. One was found
like
300.
they've been picked off.
Yeah. So this is the official Russian autopsy as well. So this isn't made up. Yeah. Okay, and then so they've got 6 of the victims. So they're like, okay, let's look further into the forest. They found the oldest guy, at the bottom of a ravine with broken ribs, So, and the autopsy said it was an impact similar to a car crash. So maybe he fell down the ravine, but it was minus 30 and snowing. So even if he fell down, it wasn't that big that he would break ribs because it would be snowy. And then the last body they found was the only girl on the trip. They found her body hunched up on a rock with part of her face missing. So the autopsy suggests that maybe it was localized rot. So that's because they'd been out there for quite some time, but at the same time they were frozen, so they were quite well preserved. But if you get one area that's warm, it'll start to rot away. But the thing is, they found the body perched up on a rock, so they said that maybe her face was in a stream, but that wasn't the case. They also found like a cup of blood, like blood in her stomach. And you don't swallow blood when you're dead. So she was alive at least for some time after something had mangled her face. So she was missing her tongue and lips and part of her jaw.
Fuck! What do they put this down to, man?
The official report is an unknown compelling force caused the death.
Satanic ritual.
Yeah. So access to the region was blocked for hikers and adventurers for 3 years after the incident. Several explanations have been put out, including avalanche, infrasound, and also a military accident. So the Russians had used the area for military tests, and there were military shrapnel around, but like none of them had any penetrating injuries. It was all blunt trauma.
So it makes blunt trauma without penetration, man.
Yeah, nothing in a bomb does that.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to text me a link to that, man. Text me the name, because I've got to read that more into that, man.
Yeah.
I'll be up all night YouTubing that.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I'll get this edit done, and then I'll be sitting there in the jocks under the blanket trying to pass out to like this sort of blunt trauma with no penetration. Alright, man, let's just wrap it. This guy's got to get to a dinner. He's freezing, he's going to have hypothermia, they're going to find him here. We're all fucked.
I need to piss again.
Wide. Election edition, man. Yeah, thanks a lot. Seriously, you're a gun. Shit, I don't know how to feel, man. That's fucked. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Alright, call it, man.
Juke leverage out.